Oh, yeah! Welcome to the KillJoy Jake YouTube channel, where this floppy guy yells a bunch of horror stuff at ya. I forgot I can't say that word. I got like 30 more seconds and I can swear. What is up, everybody? Welcome in to the Terrifier 3, Scream 7, Saw 11, Let's Talk Horror Tonight stream. What is up, dudes? Welcome in, everybody. Amy's hanging out with us tonight, a literal pug, saying, here is the trailer for Founders Day. I don't see it, but that's okay. Hey, Jake, have you seen Against the Dark? It's a Steven Seagal vampire film. Ooh! I know of what, Steven Seagal or Seagal. Is that, how do you pronounce it? I don't even know. Steven Seagal. I know of this fella. He is a literal seagull. No, I'm just kidding. I have seen like one of his movies, I want to say, like a long time ago. I have not seen this one though. Amy, I'm adding it to the list. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. And all your pugginess. Is that a word? No, it's not. Chris Johnson, what's going on, Chris? How you doing? Look at that profile picture. What is that? Is that like a fucked up Christmas tree or something? I don't know what's going on there, but I like it. Oh, it's something wrapped up in like Christmas lights. I dig it, Chris. Very cool. Have you seen Dark Harvest? You're missing out if you haven't. I have not seen it yet, but next week, I'm starting my catch-up. On all the movies I missed this year. I'm going to try to watch as many 2023 horror films as physically possible, because I announced this a little while ago, but I'm going to say it again. I don't care. If you're hearing this for the third, fourth, fifth time, I don't give a shit. I'm going to be honest. I'm just really excited to make this video at the end of the year where I talk about all of the horror movies I watched so far. So far, I've watched 33 2023 horror films, and the list is only going to get crazier up until December 31st, when I'm posting this big video just covering everything I watched. It's going to be so much fun. Dark Harvest is absolutely on that list. In fact, it's at the top of my list, Chris. I'm not even kidding. That one, I started a movie called Fear from I think it came out in March. I haven't been able to finish it, unfortunately, but soon I will be watching it, though. Chris, thank you so much for the recommendation, my dude. I will absolutely be watching it very, very, very soon here, though. Dark Harvest was good, says Gianna Janowick. Okay, shit. Thanksgiving was fun too. Very nice. I'm very excited to see it. I've heard some people say it's one of their favorites of the year, so very exciting stuff. Very, very exciting for sure. Scott Walker is with us saying, hi, Jake. How's it going, my friend? I got a possible theory that might happen in Scream 7. Sydney having a nightmare. She sees Ghostface and he says to her, I'm alive. He takes off the mask. Scott, I just realized I forgot to do something before this stream. I'm so sorry. I will get back to you, ladies and gentlemen, in just 2 seconds. Literally give me 30 seconds to do something. I completely forgot. I'm just so you guys know what I'm doing. I'm making a big Terrifier video tomorrow. My brother is helping me out with it, and he's knocking on my door right now saying, hey, I need the thing so that we can help you with the video tomorrow. Give me literally 30 seconds, Scott. I'm so sorry. This is so unprofessional of me. 2 seconds. Wow, that was fast. Okay. Whew. I just raced around the room. Okay, Scott, getting back to this though. Scream 7, Sydney having a nightmare. She sees Ghostface and he says to her, I'm alive. He takes off the mask. I'm assuming you want this to be Stu. Once again, I'm so sorry, my friend, but I just don't want it to happen. But what I will say is it's absolutely a possibility, considering Matthew Lillard being once again a king of horror as he once was. Now he's coming back with Five Nights at Freddy's being the most successful horror film of the entire year. So it wouldn't be a shock if they decided to bring him back for fan service. I'm just not a big fan of it. Not a big fan of fan service in general. It just doesn't do it for me. So the reason I'm so against it is that's all I feel it is. It's not really good storytelling in my mind. It's just, let's just bring back a fan favorite character because that will get people, that'll put butts in seats. Just my opinion on it, though. I know a lot of people disagree with that. Some people think it's the greatest thing the Scream movies can possibly do moving forward. I respect it. Just not my cup of tea, personally. Mr. Horror is saying advice for a horror movie talk show. It's what I will say is, know your stuff. My number one thing, know your stuff. Like, I have talked to many people before, had them on either been on their show, whatever, doesn't matter. And you'll try to talk to them about something outside the realm of what's familiar. And, sometimes They got nothing. I try to have an opinion on at least like every somewhat recognizable horror franchise. I may not be watching them. Like, for instance, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm going to be honest. I don't watch those movies as much as like I don't know what it is. Like, I really like those movies. They're not really in my rotation for whatever reason, but I have seen all of them and I do have opinions on all those movies. I'm able to talk about them. So my advice is before you even do it, do what I did. This sounds like I'm being so full of myself, but what I did before I even started this channel, I wanted to start this in summer of 2018. Summer of 2018, but I didn't, because what I did is I spent an entire year watching as many horror movies as I possibly could have to become a pseudo expert, so to say. So my best advice is get as knowledgeable on the subject as possible. Don't just watch the Scream movies. Don't just watch the Halloween movies. Go beyond that. Try to find as many movies as you possibly can to talk about, because the majority of people have seen the Halloween movies and the Scream movies. Do more than that. Those are the popular ones, sure, but if you can bring up something like Phantasm or Alligator, like, one of my favorite B movies, or just like a weird, just something fucking weird out there that you can recommend to people, then you have something even more to offer than just a fresh opinion on something everyone is already familiar with. I don't know, I feel like that's good advice, maybe. Be interesting. Find a way to answer that question. How can you be interesting and make people want to watch your shit? Brandon the Beldam, thank you so much for being a KillJoy cult member. I appreciate you, Brandon. Thank you. How's it going? Howdy, hey. Welcome in. Denisha Lane, same to you, my friend. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for being here. And Sarah Campbell. Oh my God, what's up, everybody? How we doing? Some familiar faces and friends in here. Do appreciate all you guys hanging out with us tonight. Thank you, Sarah. Austin Daniels is saying, yo, Jake, watched Thanksgiving last night. What a movie. I'd be lying if I said I thought it was good, but I was entertained. I'm really excited to see Eli Roth's Borderlands movie next year. My buddy had a similar take. He said this was quality ass, and I personally disagree with that, but I respect it. I'm so glad that you kind of enjoyed it. You were entertained, so I'll take that as you liked it. I loved it, man. It was very purposefully a B movie to me. That's at least how I feel about it. So I really enjoyed it. Really fun movie. Very good. A lot of cool stuff going on in that one. Ashley S, how's it going, Ashley? Thanks for being a KillJoy cult member. I appreciate you. Ashley also saw Thanksgiving today. It was such a bloody good time. Hell yeah. I'm glad you liked it, Ashley. Very good stuff. Sammyverse, hello. And across the Sammyverse, beyond the Sammyverse. Is this like a new Spider-Man Sony series? I'm excited for it. Sammy, welcome in, my friend. Thanks for being here, dog. Thank you. RJ Skorenki, my favorite last name of anyone in my streams. No offense. I don't play favorites, but favorites for last names. I mean, what can I say? Skorenki, I love it. I'm so excited to talk some Scream 7 tonight. We'll talk about it, RJ. Throw me some questions. Something else I want to say too is every super chat in tonight's video will be featured in every super chat will be featured in a big ol' nasty video over on my second channel. So if you throw something out there, it'll be thrown in there. Even if you want to say something goofy and whatever, I don't even care. Throw it out there. It's going to be in a big ol' nasty video, probably coming out on Wednesday. So just a little incentive for you guys if you feel like throwing a little something out there. Ghostface 95 is saying, hello, everyone. I can't sleep. Also, I'm thinking of watching The Fly remake. A perfect watch before you go to bed, truly. If you want to watch something just terrifying and cosmic, there you go. Maybe that'll put you to sleep. I don't know. Maybe that's the bedtime story that you need. Just get those eyes all heavy. Ghostface 95, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Enjoy The Fly if you watch it. It's my favorite horror movie of all time. Very good stuff. Connie Cleary, what's up, dog? Still love that fucking bird. I dig it. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for your support. Stupid Fizz, what's up? Smoking a doobie in the profile picture. I dig it. Mr. Horror is saying, I personally think if Scream 7 will be the last Scream movie in the franchise, they would definitely have to bring back Sydney, but they would have to do something major with her character. I agree. Don't just bring her back for no reason. That would suck. Don't disrespect the character like that. Give me something crazy. I'm 100% with you there. Jason Carpenter saying Thanksgiving was off the charts. Awesome. Hell yeah. I'm glad you liked it, Jason. It's one of my favorite horror movies of the year, without a doubt. Eli Roth is fucking back. Let's hope he makes some more crazy shit in the future. I'm excited for it. Ty Lee is here too, saying I'm really hoping Patrick Dempsey isn't Ghostface. We would be expecting it after seeing Thanksgiving. Shh. Ty, shh. No spoilers. No, but seriously, I don't think he'll be Ghostface. If anything, what Thanksgiving indicates to me is that, yes, he will be a part of Scream 7. I can't see him being Ghostface, man. I mean, you can't set up that he's Sydney's husband and then make something like that happen. I just feel like that's kind of cheap. That it's cheap. It's forcing a Roman plotline where we don't need one. We don't need a mastermind Ghostface in Scream 7. I would almost be kind of disappointed if we got something along those lines. Give us something fresh and new. Give us if you want to do something impressive that the last two films didn't do, give us well, Scream 5 kind of did this, but give us a motive we've never seen before. Give us something that is brand new and fresh that we could pick apart and have our own opinions on. Love it or hate it. As long as it's new, I'll take it, even if it's something I don't like. Olaf's the Snowman, thank you for the $10, my friend. Don't melt. I guess you won't this time of year. It's fucking cold outside. Olaf is saying, Jake, what's up, my dude? Just the sky as usual. Your favorite snowman is here. How do you like Thanksgiving? Haven't watched the review yet. Hashtag Stu lives. I always come back. Hoffman lives harder. Dude, so I loved Thanksgiving. I really enjoyed it. My only criticisms really of the whole movie is I feel like it's some of the dialogue, some of the characters are just a little weird. Some of it was done on, some of it was very much so done on purpose, and it's obvious that, some of the B-movie dialogue was supposed to be in your face, a little more fun, whatever. I didn't mind that, but there were some moments where I just felt like deliveries were off. There was a distinct difference between when they were trying to be just a B-movie slasher and when I felt like a certain performance went from certain actors and actresses were just a little off. So that's really my biggest criticism of it. I loved the kills. I loved the Eli Roth dark humor that was very much so present in there. It's kind of his signature style. I think it's so funny when he's able to do something like that. So I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite horror movies of the year. Criticisms aside, I still really loved it. So check out my review though, man. I go way deeper into it than just that. That was my 30-second off the cuff response. Go check out my review though. It's a pretty solid one. If I don't say so myself, coming from the best that this sweaty guy on a lot of caffeine can do. So so check it out if you want, Olaf. And thank you for the $10, my friend. I love the hashtags too. I always come back, which a lot of people I see are using that for as a stew incentive. Like maybe he said that in Five Nights at Freddy's because he'll come back in Scream. That is actually a line from William Afton, from the games, I believe, though. So but it's interesting. It's funny to see everyone now using that with the idea of Stu could potentially come back. I love it. I dig it, man. And Hoffman coming back in Saw X was fantastic. Would love to see more of him in Saw 11 when that finally does happen, which I'm sure it will. Come on. I mean, it's not 100% confirmed, but the people behind Saw X are like, let's just do it. Come on, let's just run them pockets and make this happen. I say yes to Saw 11, Saw 12, Saw 13. Fuck it. Olaf, thank you for the $10, my friend. I really appreciate you. Let's see what happens in Scream 7, dog. I'm hyped, man. Very, very excited stuff. Stupid Fizz is saying, do you know any good Shudder films worth checking out? There was a few from this year that I really liked. Let me actually throw some, if you guys don't mind. I have my letterboxed, because I'm a fucking nerd, with all the ones that I liked from this year. A big standout is When Evil Lurks. That's on Shudder currently. You have probably already heard of this movie because it's been talked to death about. I really liked VHS 85 if you like that franchise. Some people don't. I respect it. Skinamarink is on there from earlier this year, which that's one a lot of people fucking hated. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a very interesting experimental film. So that's on my list. And there was another one. Okay, this one is also, it's very much so I hate this term too. I really hate this term, but elevated horror. It's very much so that style of movie. So it's psychological horror, if we're being real. It's called The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. I really enjoyed the film, actually. It's a Shudder original. I thought I wasn't, I'm going to be honest, the first 20 minutes, I don't know if I was into it or not, but as the film kept going, I felt like it just kept getting better. Really solid film, worth watching over on Shudder. There was a lot of good originals this year, which in my experience, Shudder originals are usually kind of hit or miss. The majority of the ones I watched, I was really impressed by from 2023 at least. So I would recommend those for sure. Maiden X. I don't know what that means, but I like it. I like the profile picture. Very slick. Saying, hey, Jake, what are your thoughts on a Jeepers Creepers prequel to the OG film? First and foremost, find someone to do it. Oh my God. Don't get these these nobody directors to make Jeepers Creepers continuations. The other thing too is I just feel like the franchise is tarnished. Anyone that tries to associate themselves with Jeepers Creepers is unfortunately somehow now involved with Victor Salva. So I feel like that's a big reason why we're not seeing any like big directors or just anybody in general wanting to approach a new Jeepers Creepers. I don't know, man. It's a really tough situation to talk about because me personally, like I would love to do a Jeepers Creepers movie, but like I don't think I would want my name anywhere associated with that. Like I kind of stopped talking about Jeepers Creepers because I feel like it would just be wrong, because of these reasons. No diss to my friends out there that do cover Jeepers Creepers stuff, like Critical Overlord, for instance, does some really good updates and coverage over that entire franchise. So check out those videos from him for sure. I don't know. I can't bring myself to really talk about the franchise anymore. I love the first two movies so much. They're a huge part of my childhood. Judge me all you want, but when I was fucking 6 watching them, I had no idea who Victor Salva was. So I don't know. Does that now can I just not like these films because of him, who's, this evil human being? I don't know. It's a really tough situation to talk about. Would I want a prequel film? Of course I would. But the technicalities behind it and all that are just way too difficult of a situation to really be able to ponder or discuss in general. I would love more Jeepers Creepers, something actually done with love and care versus the last 2 movies we got. But I worry that it's just never going to happen. It's one of those franchises that I feel is just going to stay dead. It does make me sad. I will say that, Made Next. Maybe one day we'll get some kind of new life into the franchise, but who knows? You never know. Child's Play Fan is saying, if they just bring back Sydney, I'd be fine. Don't need a Stu return. That is too much fan service. I'm with you. I think Sydney can come back, have her, play out her happy ending. Let's run that out. Cool. And one last battle with Ghostface, then, skip into the sunset with Mark Kincaid. Are they skipping? I hope so. But Stu coming back, I mean, that is the definition of fan service. I remember when I saw Spider-Man No Way Home, I loved it the first time I saw it. I was like, this is fucking cool. Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, this is my childhood. And then I watched it again, and I'm just like, okay, this is kind of boring after the first watch. And then I've watched it again, and I don't like it. Like, I'm going to be completely honest. From the first time I watched it, I was like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. The third time I watched it, I was like, this is one of the worst Marvel films I think out there. Maybe, okay, that's a little harsh, but I can't get into fan service. It is one of those like one-time watch experiences that it does not render itself to any more than that. I feel like the best movies ever made are the ones that are rewatchable, and fan service is not rewatchable for me. It is a one-time bag where it could be fun for a moment, and that's about it. So I feel the same way about Stu coming back. It'll be everyone in the theater is going to lose their fucking minds the first time they see it, and that is going to fade very fast. The moment you watch it the second time, that it's going to lose its luster. And I just don't want that. I will take good writing all day, every day over something that's just meant for fan service, just meant to put butts in seats to then discuss about it on the internet. We need more than that. We need a good story, first and foremost. But once again, I'm very harsh and very passionate on these topics. So I don't want this to come off as, I don't want this to be taken as like a negative towards people who want Stu to come back. I respect everyone's opinions. You might disagree with that, and that's totally fine if you do. I really want Scream 7 to be something that's worthwhile, like the other 6 movies. They're all very rewatchable, every single one of them. I have my criticisms towards like 2 and 3, especially, I'm very harsh on, but those are still fantastic slasher movies. Like, all things considered, I love every single Scream movie. Like, every single one I could rewatch 1,000 times and be like, oh shit, there's this, there's that. Look how great this is written, or how fun this sequence is. I just hope that Scream 7 carries that weight into the next part of the franchise. I hope we never lose that and just resort to things like with what Marvel's doing now to make sure that they can make enough money with their movies. But just my opinion on the matter. I really hope we don't stoop that low, but you never know. You never know what'll happen, my friends. You never know. Ella is with us tonight. What's up, Ella? How's it going? With some leaf, a single leaf, I should say, next to the name. Saying, hey, Jake, was wondering if you have ever seen the movie Last Shift. I have seen Last Shift, but I have not seen the remake. That's another one I forgot about. Ella, thank you so much. I do got to watch this one. Personally loved them both, but Last Shift just has that indie feel, and I love it. I really enjoyed The Last Shift. It scared the fuck out of me. There is 2 moments in that movie in particular that I remember just like, whoa, no way. Just a few little cuts to something, and you're just like, that's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. So yes, I loved The Last Shift. Malum has been on my radar for a while. Unfortunately, some of these more indie movies that come out and have limited releases, I can't sit, like, they're nowhere near me. When I first started this channel, I would have a few of those, like in close by cinemas, but I'm unfortunately in the middle of fucking buttfuck nowhere, Ohio. So I can't get out to see some of these movies. It really makes me sad, because that one was one that I was highly anticipating. I'm a huge fan of Last Shift. That was a fantastic fucking little one location movie. It's done so well. The main character too, I feel like is so well written. Such a good movie if you haven't seen it. Malum, I hear, is also great, but I just haven't been able to check that one out yet. Wherever it's streaming though, I'm sure I'll be able to find it. And thank you so much for the reminding me about this. That's got to go on my list, Ella. So thank you so much. Thank you for the recommendation. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Do appreciate you. Olaf the Snowman, thank you so much. Saying, Jake, you have inspired me. I'm going to get all my gear to stream, and I'm going to start doing horror movies. Do it, Olaf. It's fun. It's a good time. I have never been more happy with something that I've created in my entire life. So do it. Do it, Olaf. Make it happen. Talk about what you're passionate about. Everyone should have a YouTube channel. Genuinely, I really do believe that. Bill Cartwright is with us tonight saying, hey, Jake, just got in. How goes it? Doing good, Bill. Thanks for being here. Don't know if someone has already asked this, but what did you think about the Christina Carpenter audition tape? If that's some kind of leak or behind the scenes thing, Jake is no longer covering those things on this page, so I would not know anything about that. I'm going to be honest, Bill. I'm going to be very strict about only covering things that are 100% confirmed with Scream 7. So if this is something that's like out there or is some kind of like leak based on things that we don't already have confirmed about Scream 7, I'm just not going to report on it. I'm sorry. I'm going to lose a bunch of views doing that. I'm very well aware of that, but I just can't bring myself to almost spoil movies for views anymore. I gotta evolve. I gotta move past that and not talk about it. So I have no idea what that's all about, and I have no interest in looking into it. Noah Atkinson, thank you so much for being a channel member. I appreciate you. Saying, hey, Jake, for Scream 7, Tom Holland's character has a dream sequence where his dog is barking. What? He opens the door with a gun in his hand and Ghostface is there. His girlfriend helps, then wakes. Noah, I think you're writing the whole script right now, man. I don't know what's going on here, but I appreciate the love for Scream 7, dog. Hell yes. Let's go ahead. Speaking of which, Samantha Carpenter from the movie is here. Scream 8 is greenlit. I mean, she would know. She is the star of these movies now. So, I mean, fuck. Okay. I guess that's confirmed. Shit, Samantha. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Bobby Jake, what's up, homie? How you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Jeannie K, what's up, dog? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Tyrese Daniels is saying Adam Stanheight in Saw 11. Make it happen, man. Get Lee Winnell back in there. I'm sure he'll do it. Why not? Why not, man? Austin Daniels, thanks for being here, dog. I'd love to see Nicholas Hoult in the Scream movie. He's going to be in the new Nosferatu and Superman Legacy. That just got confirmed today. So very exciting stuff for him. Can't wait to see more of Nicholas Hoult in the future. GND Aaron, what's up, dog? Hi, Jake. Five Nights at Freddy's 2? Question mark. Balloon Boy was a cameo in the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie. What I will say is yes to Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It would be almost stupid of Blumhouse to not make like 7 more of those. So yes, it will absolutely happen without a doubt. I'm sure Matthew Lillard will be back for that one as well. And actually, I think it's confirmed. Yeah, Matthew Lillard signed a 3-movie deal with Blumhouse. So they're going to do at least 3 of them. That's for sure. No worries there, G&D Aaron. We got you. We got you. Jess is with us tonight. What's up, Just Jess? How you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Gonna be playing some Modern Warfare 3 tomorrow. I'm excited for it. Can't wait. Ian is with us too. What's up? What's up? How's it going, Ian? I love the dog. Look at that fucking dog. Look at that. Ian, I love it. Yes. I want kisses from a dog now too. Damn, I'm jealous. VKD is with us. What's up, Dylan? How you doing? Yo, yo, yo. How you doing, man? How you doing? Brandon the Beldam is throwing $2 in there. Thank you so much, Brandon. Really appreciate your support. Thoughts on the upcoming horror film Night Swim? Well, we don't know too much about this one. I believe it is written and directed by a singular person, if I'm remembering correctly. And we got that little trailer that looks fun. You know, it looks like a fun Blumhouse horror movie, and I'm excited for it for that reason. There's a sequence where they're playing Marco Polo, and she's like, oh, I can hear you coming towards me, and it's like some dude in a mask or something. And she's like, Marco Polo, which gets dragged underwater. That's hilarious, man. I feel like that's gonna be a goofy jump scare movie with maybe some surrealist elements too. We got to see her getting dragged to the bottom of what looked like an infinite pool, so maybe there's some kind of supernatural element, or maybe the pool is haunted. I don't know, but I'm into it. I'm totally down. It's called Night Swim, so it's got to be about that creepy pool in the backyard. I don't know, but I'm down for it. January releases are very much so a gamble, and I think that's why I'm really excited for this one, even more than like that Imaginary movie that we also just got a trailer for. I'm really excited for Night Swim because this could either be great or pretty bad. I feel like there's same thing with Imaginary, honestly. Both of those movies could be pretty good or very generic. And I'm excited for them for that reason, because like I said, they're a gamble. You don't know what you're going to get. That's maybe more exciting to me than a movie we know is going to be good or a movie we know is going to be bad. So for that reason, I'm excited to gamble with Blumhouse here in the new year. Couple movies coming out from them that we know a little earlier on too. So it's going to be a fun time. Night Swim, it's going to be a fun time. Brandon, thanks for the $2, man. I really do appreciate your support as always, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I also want to get to some more of these super chats because I see a few more of them rolling in. Once again, I really do appreciate your support tonight, guys. You all will be featured in a fun little video on the second page. So it's gonna be a good time editing all this together. Sarah Campbell's throwing $5 Canadian out there. I really appreciate you. Oh Canada, oh Canada. I don't know the song off the top of my head, but yeah, there you go. Thank you, my Canadian friend. Show us that new tattoo, my guy. I did just get a new tattoo for all my Scream fans out there. You guys will dig this. I got a devil Ghostface, so there you go. My first ink, baby's first ink. This, I'm gonna be so real with you guys. If anyone out there is thinking to themselves, I shouldn't get a tattoo, oh, it might hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. Have you gotten a shot before? Like, getting a shot is 10 times worse than a tattoo. Like 100 times worse. This is nothing. Like I was genuinely expecting to be in like so much pain. I took like an Advil beforehand. I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna suck, but let's do it. I've always wanted this. This didn't hurt at all. Like get tattoos. Don't get them in, shitty spots or whatever, but get tattoos if you want them. This is fucking sweet though. Did this for Red Right Hand, which is turning a year old. my movie's a year old in December. So I got this to celebrate. So yes, there you go. Thank you so much for the $5, Sarah. I really do appreciate you. And yeah, I had to start getting some horror shit on my arm. So there you go. Started off with a Red Right Hand tattoo. I think I might get this red at some point because it is Devil Ghostface from our movie. But yes, had to show it off. I'm so sorry. But oh, it's so cool. I fucking love having a tattoo. It's sick. I want to get my whole arm done at some point, but yeah, for now, I'm happy with just the one on the shoulder. But Sarah, thank you for the $5. I really appreciate you, and I hope you dig the tattoo. I don't know. I was thinking about making some kind of video based on it, but I never did. I don't know. I was like, I got to get the tattoo first, and then maybe I'll do another one where I get a video or something. I don't know, but make a video out of it. That might be fun. You never know. Holy shit. Look at that creepy profile picture. Some Donnie Darko in there. I dig it. Natted is saying, hey, Jake, have you seen A Clockwork Orange? Absolutely. And if so, do you think that it should be rebooted? I do. Ooh, bit of a cliffhanger right there at the end of this comment. I think that A Clockwork Orange is like a really fantastic, like, is it like a thriller, would you say? It's very, like, that's another surreal fucking movie. They are drinking milk like it's like beer and whiskey and shit. It's so fucking, it's such a strange movie. And then you see all these awful things that these characters do. I don't know. I really love A Clockwork Orange. I think it's such an interesting Stanley Kubrick movie that rarely gets talked about. But it's absolutely a recommended. I recommend this one if you have not seen it. Should it get rebooted? I always feel like they should reboot movies that could have room for improvement. I don't know what they could do to take that one in a different direction. I haven't seen it in a couple of years. Maybe after I rewatched it, I might be able to think of something. But I'm curious if you have some kind of route you would like restructure this film with, or like some kind of different tone, some kind of different plot point, whatever. Throw it out there. I'm curious what your take on this movie could be in a possible reboot. because I really like it how it is. I'm gonna be honest. I like a lot of movies though, so I'm a very easy critic to please. I'm gonna be honest. I was actually, speaking of that list of movies, I'm making this big video at the end of the year where I talk about all the movies from 2023. I definitely like the majority of those movies. Like, I think the bottom, like, 12 I disliked, and then the rest of them, I'm like, yeah, these are at least, like, interesting or worth talking about. But, yeah, there's maybe, like, 12 movies I just wasn't crazy about, but I'm a very easy critic to please, I'm not gonna lie. I really like a lot of movies. Marquise is with us tonight. What's up, dog? Saying, I'm getting a lot of love for the Terrifier shirt. Fuck yeah. I don't have a Terrifier shirt, Marquise. Something I just realized the other day. I gotta fix that. Marquise. Nice. I'm glad you got one, though, and I'm glad you're getting love for it. I gotta get a new one, too. Terry P is saying for the third time, what is that Thanksgiving movie on? It's in theaters currently, so go watch it in theaters if you can. Support movies in theaters too. This is a pretty good opportunity for me to go on this crazy rant. There's a lot of people that just watch things on streaming, and you know, some people it's for medical reasons, they just can't get out of the house. I respect that. But if you can't, go to the theater to support movies, because theaters are kind of scary to getting close to, like, dying and all that, and we don't want that to happen. I really love going to the theater. It's so much fun. It's really one of my favorite, like, things to do on the weekends or whatever. And just film is important to be viewed in a communal space, I think, personally. It's something that I feel like I could make a whole video on at some point, but support movies in theaters if you can. So go see Thanksgiving in the theater. It's out now, and I'm sure it'll be on something, maybe like, what is that, Spyglass? So that would probably be on like Paramount Plus, I would imagine, in a couple of months. But see it in the theater, Terry. I recommend it. See it. It's a good one. Very good movie. May Ann is with us. What's up, dog? How's it going? Welcome in. Tom is with us too. Tom Texira. I always feel like I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. But Tom, thanks for being here, and I'm so sorry if I just butchered your name. What's up, Jake? Been a while since I've been here. It's all good. I just appreciate that you're here now, dog. What are your thoughts on Imaginary? I have some thoughts. I posted a video on my second page doing a little trailer reaction for Imaginary. Any reactions to trailers and stuff are going on that second page for people who really want to see that crazy shit. But basically my thoughts were, it looks like a Blumhouse trailer. It's very much so like, it comes off as cookie cutter, like jump scare movie with maybe kind of an interesting twist to it, though, is what I will say. I think the flow of the movie is going to be pretty familiar, pretty generic, but there's like all this imagery of maybe this other world where these imaginary characters come from to fuck with the living. That part of it I'm very interested in. I think if I had to predict my thoughts on that movie, like after watching it, I think I'm going to really dislike the first two acts, and then when it gets weird at the end, I'm going to fucking love it. So that just my predictive thoughts right now, that's where I'm at with it, but I don't know. You never know. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's a surprise. Like Megan from earlier this year. I really thought I was going to hate that movie. I'm going to be honest. I saw the trailer for that and I'm like, that looks like generic doll movie. It was so much more than that because of the tone. It had a very different tone and goofiness about it that I genuinely wasn't expecting. I was really thinking it was just going to be TikTok humor for less than 90 minutes because attention spans are dwindling. But no, it wasn't that at all. It was a really fun, well-written movie that I had a good time with. Honestly, top 20 PG-13 horror movies that I can think of off the top of my head, I would say Megan is on there. I really enjoyed that film. It's laugh out loud funny. And it has some like genuinely creepy moments too. I was like, shit, okay, Megan, goddamn, you get it, Megan. God damn. Jacob Mayers is saying, Jake, how would you introduce Corey Cunningham in 2018 in Halloween Kills instead of just Halloween Ends? I would very easily merge the characters of Cameron Elam and Corey Cunningham into one person. And I'm kind of shocked that they didn't just do that in the first place. If it was Cameron just the whole time and he just goes evil in Halloween Ends, the story works. I can put aside my criticisms of Ends being too Christine if it was something set up from the beginning, but it doesn't feel like it was set up from the beginning. It feels like something they just decided to do because they were sick of telling Michael Myers stories. That's how I took it, at least. But if I could change something about the new trilogy, honestly, I wouldn't even change that. I would just change the fact that we start Halloween Ends in a brand new story. Like, the biggest thing I would change is connect Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends a little better. We kind of just give up on that plot line and tell something else. Like, immediately from the jump with Halloween Ends, I would change that. That's the biggest thing that I just don't like about that movie. From the get-go, I'm not on its side. I'm not rooting for it because it's deciding to not continue the story and push it to the background. So that's my biggest thing that I would want to change. I'm down with that storyline, the transference of evil, but the way that they approached it, especially in the beginning of that movie, is very haphazard and kind of ludicrous, if I'm being honest. Like, I can't believe they made that decision. It still blindsides me a little bit. Luddy Network is saying, I made it. What's up, Luddy? How you doing? Hope the flamethrower is treating you well. I'm gonna use mine soon. Is what I will say. For those who don't know, Luddy sent me a flamethrower in the mail recently. Still the craziest thing I've ever received. Let's just say you'll know when I use it. You will know. I have a big plan for it. You have greatly influenced a project I'm working on, and that's all I'm gonna say. So in a couple of months, you may just know. That's all I'm gonna say. Keep it mysterious for now. What else do we got going on? Sammy Versus saying, honestly, Jake, after hearing you say that about not wanting to spoil movies for views, it makes me want to double subscribe to you. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate that. Once I figure out how to do that, I'll get back to you. Sammy, I greatly appreciate it, man. Your one subscription means the world to me. So thank you. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I was making videos in the past where I'm like, we're talking about something in terms of Scream, the Scream movies especially, where I was like looking for leaks at one point because I'm just gonna be real, I was seeing everyone else doing it, so I'm like, oh, I should probably do this too. I just don't feel good about that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to create a channel that's just made for like trying to figure out the ins and outs of shit, because I remember reporting on things for Scream 6 that ended up being total bullshit, and I'm like, I hate that I made videos about that, and I led people to believe that this was happening for a film. That there was a leaked picture that came out that was supposed to be like Gail's house with pumpkins and all that. She lives in an apartment in Scream 6, and we learned that during the trailer. I was honestly furious with myself when I saw the Scream 6 trailer for the first time, because I was just thinking, oh my God, I led all these people to believe that that this was Gail's house from some random photo of like just pumpkins in front of a normal New York style looking house. I just can't bring myself to make videos about that anymore. I don't know. Maybe maybe there is an audience for that, but I just don't feel like people want to see that before a movie that they're excited to see. So I'm trying to report on the actual news when it comes out, and not misdirect people. So when I upload something on Scream, it will either be a theory video or an actual update. You can be assured with that. I don't speak for the other channels out there, but I can promise you that about this little section of the internet. Child's Play fan specifically is throwing $5 out there. Thank you so much, my Chucky fan. Really appreciate you, Doug. What if the killer in Scream 7 was somebody who was obsessed with the idea of Stu being alive and impersonates him? I'm down. 100%. I'm into it. I can vibe with that. I'm going to be totally real. If they decide to go to the route of Matthew Lillard is the killer again, but he's playing a completely different person or like a Stu lookalike or something, you might be listening to this and saying, that's kind of cheap, Jake. But think about the meta elements to that would work so well with the Scream film. That would be kind of funny. I will say my one negative towards that is we have kind of blew that load a little bit with Scream 6. There was so much like jabs, little tiny jabs, nothing too malicious or anything, towards the theory in general in Scream 6, which is why I personally feel like if with any other radio silence movies we simply wouldn't get something like that. But I don't know. You never know. Like maybe Scream 7 is all about just making fun of this really popular fan theory that may or may not happen. I don't know. I'm honestly down for something like that because I think it's fun. If Scream no longer wants to comment on horror as a genre and they want to just comment on themselves, that's fun. I do feel like we did just do that in the last movie though. That would have been a really good Scream 6 motive, in my opinion. Like if that's the motive we went with Scream 6, I would be very happy with that. It's very experimental and very much so like for the fans, but I think people can get behind it if they just know a little bit about what's going on in the fandom. It might be a Five Nights at Freddy's situation where it's like, okay, dude, this movie is only for like hardcore fans who read the books and all that. Because that's kind of how I feel about that new movie. But I don't know. Would that work? Maybe. Execution is really everything. Maybe it's something that a general audience could get into and could vibe with. That's really not that obscure of a thing. Like, a lot of people know who Stu is in general. I feel like the majority of people could latch onto something like that and be like, oh yeah, like if they saw the original film, they'd be like, oh, this guy just really likes that killer from the original, which there is a lot of audience members who really like Stu Macher, myself included. And there is a part of me that wishes they never killed him in one. but I also feel like it's an indulgent side of myself where I'm like, I only want that to happen so much because I love Matthew Lillard, not because I think it would serve the overall Scream story, you know? So I don't know, man. I'm into it. I'm into the idea of someone impersonating Stu. That's so interesting. I just feel like that would work so much better in Scream 6. If we could go back, Child's Play fan, if we could just turn the knob, get in the DeLorean, you know, and type in like 2021 when they were probably like getting to working on the sequel with the early projections that Scream 5 was going to do well. Yeah, I would say we would give them that idea. That would be really cool. They were clearly thinking about that a little bit. You know, they were like, oh, you know, we should poke fun a little bit at that. That'd be cool. But Child's Play fan, thank you for the $5, my friend. I like it. Me personally, I'm down for it. Let's run it in the next movie. Let's see what happens. Real Cinema Lemons. You were in my last stream, I think, and I just love your profile picture. Got a whole ass lemon in the mouth. That's dedication for a profile picture. I dig it. Saying in general, Blumhouse is predictable, but I appreciate their efforts. You know, it's hard for me to disagree, man. I really do appreciate some Blumhouse efforts, especially their earlier movies, man. I mean, Insidious, Sinister, Paranormal Activity, technically. They have a lot of really good, like, earlier movies, man. I think nowadays, yes, they have become a little more like the Disney of horror, as I like to describe them. But every now and then, man, you get a Megan. Every now and then you get like a Get Out, Whiplash, even. They even did that. So you never know, man. You never know. I'm going to keep watching them, even though some of them don't look good. I'm going to keep watching them, Real Cinema Lemons. You never know. Every now and then they got a hit, but sometimes it's a Fantasy Island or a Truth or Dare or a Halloween Ends. You never know, man. You never know what you're going to get with Blumhouse. It's a gamble. We were talking about that earlier. Blumhouse movies are a gamble, and sometimes you lose. Perry Moberg saying sick tat dog. I appreciate you, Perry. Thank you so much. Thanks for the support, too. Appreciate you, dog. Tori is saying tattoos don't hurt. I already have 7. Getting my 8th tomorrow. Badass. What you getting, Tori? I'm curious. What you getting? Throw it out in the chat. Let's hear what you're getting on. That sounded creepy. I was going to say, what are you getting on your body? And I'm like, okay, nope, don't say that. What are you getting tattooed on yourself? You know what? I'm going to stop. I'm just making it worse. Anyways, Scream Geek is saying red right hand, best Scream fan film. You're the best, dog. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm really glad you like it. Really glad you enjoyed that one. I want to do like some kind of reunion stream with Matt and maybe some of the actors involved or something next month. Might be fun to kind of touch back on that, talk a little bit about how we made it and stuff. I had someone just reach out to me and ask how we did a certain effect, and that was just really fun to have that conversation. So I don't know, but it was a really fun movie to make, and I'm very excited to show you guys what we're working on now. Garrett Peck is saying The Clockwork Orange is still ahead of its time. I agree, very much so. It's a really thought-provoking and kind of uncomfortable movie, too. Kind of uncomfortable? No, just uncomfortable. Those first 20 minutes are very uncomfortable and very hard to watch, but I love that. I love that about it. So movies have got to be challenging, dog. Movies have got to be challenging. You were in my stream the other day too. Isao Fuji. Dude, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm so sorry. I truly try my best. Have you seen Mad God? Yes, I fucking love Mad God. It is just a long Tool music video that is filled with existential dread, and every moment of that made me want to cry. I loved it. Mad God is fantastic. If you have not seen it, take an edible and watch it. Maybe if your willpower is strong enough to hold with that movie. It's very scary. It will freak you out. If you're someone who doesn't get doesn't like to get scared or whatever, you like some of the more like the chilled out horror movies, cool. But Mad God, if you want an experience, if you want to go through some fucking hell, take an edible, watch Mad God. It'll blow your mind. Anyways, Fort Misery Gaming is saying, Jake, I saw Thanksgiving opening weekend for date night and had a blast, even though my wife thought the movie was great 90s horror slasher like Scream vibes. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Very much so. It was very much so Eli Roth's Scream in a lot of ways. I loved it. I think it was a really solid murder mystery. The killer or killers at the end, where it was a good reveal. I was kind of fooled too, man. I was really looking at something else that was going on. There was another very prominent thing happening in the movie, and I was like, okay, it's got to be something's going on there. It misdirected me, dude. It was very cool. I loved what they were able to do with that film for sure. I think the kills the kills and the humor are the main attraction for sure. Like the dark humor of it, the crazy kills, that's the main attraction. So if that's your vibe, if that's something you're into, cool. Some of the dialogue is very much so like B horror movie, but like intentionally B horror movie. And I've seen that's been a big criticism I've seen of the film. A lot of people don't like the dialogue. One of my buddies was specifically like, I just don't like the dialogue. Like, it just didn't work for me. I loved it because I could see what they were going for. I'm like, they were totally going for 80s B horror movie dialogue. And I liked it for that reason, but I can see being annoyed by that for sure. But I loved it. It's one of my favorite horror movies of the year. Eli Roth is back, dude. And it's like he didn't even skip a beat. I mean, this could have came out, like you said, like in the 90s or the thousands, like when he was coming to prominence. This would fit right in between Hostel and Hostel 2. Like, I loved it. Big fan. Love everything that he does. I can't wait for more. Hopefully he does more movies in the future. That would be great. That'd be very great. May Ann has been a member for 7 months. Holy shit! That's a long fucking time, May Ann. Thank you so much for your support. Really do appreciate you. Favorite movie this year thus far? Oh, that's such a good question. Oh, it's so tough to answer. And you're also saying Red Right Hand 2 soon. Okay, so I have answers to both of these questions. So I don't want to spoil what my number one movie is because it has changed a lot over this year. It's actually been tough, really, because while I think 2022 horror 2022 was a superior year for horror films, I do think that 2023 has had some of my favorite horror movies just of the 2020s in general so far, without a doubt. So it's been really hard to pick a favorite. Like I'm between a couple of movies, I guess is what I will say. Evil Dead Rise. What was the other one? Shit. Honestly, Thanksgiving's up there. I'm not gonna lie. I really liked that movie. Okay, so there are 5 movies that I would say could qualify for my favorite movie of the whole year. That's Infinity Pool, Evil Dead Rise, Saw X, Thanksgiving, and Talk to Me. I think all of those movies, very solid contenders for what my number one place could be right now. And I'm still kind of determining I'm still kind of on the fence about where I want to put things. So I'm not 100% on that, but one of those 5, I think for sure is going to take my top spot. Also, Red Right Hand 2 soon. I don't think Red Right Hand needs a continuation, but never say never. We purposefully did not double tap Jamie for that very reason. That's all I'll say. Because we were thinking, well, I don't think there needs to be another Red Right Hand, but let's, if we're going to try to venture out and do some original stuff next year, and maybe that doesn't pan out. So maybe we'll make a Red Right Hand too. You never know. So I hope you guys do like some of the original stuff that we're doing. We're starting off with a slasher, so I'm sure you guys will dig that. And we're going into pre-production for it next month. Very excited for it. But yes, we are working on original stuff right now, but never say never. You never know. Like I said, I stand by my opinion. I don't think Red Right Hand needs a continuation. I think it's good for what it is. But May Ann, thank you so much for your support the past 7 months. I really do appreciate you. Thank you. What else do we got going on? Sarah's talking about my second channel. Go subscribe. It's very cool stuff. And I'm also doing a food review channel that I don't know. I might turn into a fucking video game channel at this point. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. But I have 2 other channels that you should go subscribe to. Going to put some fun content out there as well. But if you just want to stay and hang out for the horror movie content too, I appreciate it. Whatever you want to do. Check it out at your own leisure, as they say. what else is going on? Yo, did you see the new Wrong Turn movie? That first kill was crazy. I love the newest Wrong Turn movie. That is one of the most underrated movies from the 2020s. Honestly, I would go so far as to say that's on my top 10 list from 2020 horror. I fucking love that movie. I think it's so underrated. Everyone hated it when it came out because, you know, they were expecting Wrong Turn. They were expecting crazy, over the top, you know, like just hillbilly slasher movie, whatever. But it wasn't that. It was, well, it kind of was that, but it kind of wasn't at the same time. It was a little more like thought provoking, had a more complex concept. I fucking loved it though, dude. I couldn't agree more, Ella. I think it's got brutal kills all the way around and some of the most disturbing imagery in a movie that I've seen in the last 2 years. I love that movie. It's without a doubt my favorite Wrong Turn film. More people should watch that. Such an underrated film. It makes me sad more people don't talk about it. Nadid is saying, I feel that they could show some more violence and blood if they rebooted. Oh, Clockwork Orange, okay. And they should add the last chapter in the book where Alex changes and has different interests. Oh, you're right. I read the book in high school. It's all flooding back now. It is a bit of a happier ending than I think that movie deserves, though. That's what I'll say. So I don't know, but you have a really good point about rebooting it and doing it that way, just to see what the other side of it would look like. That's a good point. That's a good point. I personally like the way the Stanley Kubrick movie ends better than what they do in the book. Just my personal opinion, but I wouldn't mind seeing that in the form of film. I think that actually would be cool. Wow, dude, I haven't thought about that book in such a long time. Like I'm not even kidding. I read that in my junior year, I believe, of high school. Wow, oh my God, that was a long time ago. I read that book and I remember just being like, this is like fucking actually really good. That was one of the books I read where I actually got into reading for a little while, and I just haven't, your boy just hasn't had time to read. I have so many books over there. I've been trying to read The Exorcist for like 4 months. I just have not had time. It's really tough to just sit down and read a book, unfortunately for me. Even when I watch movies, it's usually like late at night after I've been working all day. So like I just flipping through a book, it's a lot more brain power than just sitting and watching a movie, at least for me. But I love reading. It really is something I would love to do, but it's tough to do it. Slasher in Suits is saying, don't do leaks. I'm with you, man. Your Terrifier 3 videos are crushing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But those are theories and speculation. Great stuff. And that's what I plan on doing more of. I don't know, man. I mean, you can do the leaks, but people are just gonna be pissed. I'm also like, as I get farther away from that, I'm noticing more people watch my videos. Like I don't know, people don't really like watching leaks. It's one of those things that, yes, gets clicks like real fucking fast, but it's bad content in the long run. And it's cheap. It's like, don't do that shit, man. Come on. We don't want shit spoiled. We don't want that. Oh, I can't remember what I said, but Evil Connor was not digging it. Evil Connor was saying Scream has to be a revenge story, a personal revenge story, like the OG. No more obsessions. Why does it have to be a revenge story, though? That's my question. Why does it have to be a revenge story? Like why? Why can't we venture into new motives? Why can't we venture into new reasons to kill people? Why does everything have to be personal or like a revenge story just in general? I'm just curious. I'm curious what your thoughts are on that. Rob's Eclectic Media, I love your name as always, my dude, saying, what's going on, Jake in chat? Dude, I wanted to comment on your Thanksgiving video, but I haven't seen it yet, so I didn't want to get it spoiled. All good, my friend. What I will say is every review I do on this page, I set it up at the same thing every single time. I always talk spoiler free, and then I give you a warning before I get into the spoiler territory. So the first, I want to say 2 or 3 minutes of that video is spoiler free. If you wanted to get kind of a gist of what my thoughts were, and I won't spoil anything on the live stream, I promise, but I really enjoyed it, Rob. And I think that fans of Eli Roth specifically will like the film. Maybe fans of Scream will like it too. That's tough. I've seen a lot of people say oh, Scream fans will love this. I think that it's tough to say because yes, it is a murder mystery and it follows a similar format to Scream, like your typical Scream movie where it's the town is in trouble because there's a masked killer on the loose. But it definitely has a different tone and a different vibe, even though yes, it has that same cheesy B-movie camp that some of the Scream movies have. But it goes really far into the gore and the darkness of the situation. There's a sequence, which this is not spoiling anything, it's in the trailer, where they do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre dinner style thing that goes on. I won't give you any more context than that. But if that's not really, if that's like pushing it too far for you, it might be too much. But what? Check it out though. I would say give it a watch if you're a Scream fan. It's tough to gauge. It's tough to gauge. I think it's a very scary film though. I think it has some really horrifying moments that will scare the fuck out of you. But majority of it is definitely silly and goofy. Derek Everhart, what's up, Derek? How you doing? Saying, I want Matthew Lillard back in Scream 7, but not as Stu. As a new character, he's older, looks different. Maybe he's a professor at the college. And maybe the killer again, but not as Stu. A few people have said that tonight, Derek. And I'm genuinely not even against this. Not at all. I'm not against this at all. I think Matthew Lillard is fantastic. And like you said, he has a completely different look nowadays. He's got a little bit of gray in his beard. That's not a bad thing because he can play a different character. So why not? Me personally, I think the reason people want Stu to come back is because of Matthew Lillard, because he's such a good actor and because he's such a big staple in horror and movies similar to Scream. Like he's Shaggy in Scooby-Doo. I feel like that's his most notable role, which might be a hot take. I know I'm talking to Scream fans right now. I shouldn't be saying these things, but Shaggy, I feel like, is without a doubt his most like recognizable role that he's ever done versus Stu, which is maybe like a second or a third spot. So for me, I'm totally down for this idea. Matthew Lillard, Matthew Lilypads, Matthew Lillard coming back for Scream 7, playing a new character. Yes, run it, make it happen. I'm down for it. Just don't have it revealed that he's just Stu the whole time. That's cheap to me, I love Matthew Lillard. I would love to see him in more horror movies, and I wouldn't be against that at all. If they announced he's coming back, but he's playing a new character, nothing would make me happier. I would be like, fuck yeah, run it. Let's see it. I'm into it. Jason Rushman is with us tonight. What's up, Jason? How you doing? Jason says hi to me a lot on Twitter, and that makes me so happy. Jason, you make my day almost every single time you do that, so I really appreciate it, dude. Saying, I love your t-shirt, Jake. The new Exorcist movie was incredible. I loved it. I love the church thing. That was my favorite. Oh, the sequence where the girl's in the church and she's like covered in the wine and shit. Fuck yeah, dog. That was creepy. The body and the blood. The body and the blood. Jason, I'm so glad you like the new movie, man. They're probably doing 2 more. So check them out when they come out, dog. Thanks for stopping in, man. I really do appreciate you. Nerdy Mastermind, he's got a sick fucking Spider-Man in the profile picture, saying, do you think we'll get Thanksgiving 2 and 3? I sure hope so. I do too. I'm with you, dog. Let's see Thanksgiving at least 2. I think we can do at least 1 more. Without spoiling anything, with how it ended, I can definitely see them doing another one. That's all I'll say. It's gonna not say any more than that. I could definitely see another movie happening with just another murder mystery. Sure, why not? Like another movie like that of quality where it's funny, it's dark, it's got that Eli Roth touch to it. I'm down, man. I think that we have this big slasher resurgence going on right now. Ty West is finishing out his X trilogy next year with Maxine, which I cannot fucking wait for. We don't have a release date yet, but it's heavily speculated to be coming out next year at some point. As spring, I believe, is where people are speculating it's coming out. But I'm very excited for that. I love the new, obviously, Terrifier movies. Holy shit. Speaking of which, I have a huge Terrifier 3 video coming out either tomorrow or Wednesday. And I think I've cracked the code on one of the big mysteries in the Terrifier franchise. Now, it's a theory, so I'm going to say that. I'm not going to be that full of myself. But I feel like I'm onto something. I'm at least in the ballpark of what the answer is on one of the many mysteries that we know for Terrifier. But getting back on track, yes, I absolutely think we could do another Thanksgiving with another slasher villain, someone else behind the mask. Sure, why not? Get another John Carver in there. I'm into it. My pug ate my VHS of 976 Evil 2. I don't know what that is, dog. But I like the profile picture, Amy. You changed the pug to the guy from It's a Wonderful Knife. That, speaking of which, It's a Wonderful Knife goes to Shudder on December 1st, which is like 2 weeks away? Yeah. 2 weeks away. Less than 2 weeks. Look at that. I'm excited. Derek saying, Scream 6 is not in your top 5 of the year. Shame. It's number 6, hilariously enough. I swear to God, it is not, like, literally number 6. You know what? Fuck it. I don't want to show you my top 5 of the year because I want to save it for the video at the end of the year, but literally number 6 right now is Scream 6. I loved it. I love Scream 6, but I do have my criticisms. It's one of my favorite horror movies of the year, though. It's an absolute top 10, without a doubt. But like I said, I have a list of 33 movies. That's a lot of movies, man. But I loved it. One of my favorite Scream films, without a doubt. I really do love the film. It's so much fun. It's been my go-to Scream movie just to watch. Like sometimes I'll watch it before bed. Like I really do enjoy that one. Oh, Garrett is talking about more movies in my top 10. We're just going to have my whole top 10 out in the fucking world at this point. No One Will Save You and Cobweb. Those are absolutely top 10 horror films for me, dude. I loved both of these. Like, both of those movies were badass. Cobweb is the most underrated horror movie of the year. I'm just going to say it. It is an unsung hero of 2023 horror movies, and it's a shame that most people probably won't see it. Rent this one. Watch it. It's got a phenomenal cast, and Lizzie Kaplan, Anthony Starr, who is Homelander from The Boys. I believe, no, the kid's not Gabriel Bateman. That's not Gabriel. The kid is somebody else. But no, the whole cast, phenomenal. Oh, Gary Busey's kid. That's what it is. Gary Busey's kid is in the movie too. It's written so well. Some of the effects may not be there, but it is written I wouldn't change a thing about the writing. I really loved it. And the girl from Infinity Pool is in it too. That's what it is the teacher. And I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she's phenomenal as well. She was in 2 of my favorite horror movies of the year. What do you know? Crazy stuff. Toxic Icon Podcast is in the house. What is up, dogs? It's the Tip gang. What's up, Tip? Just the Tip is inside the house. I love it. That's what I'm all about. But Toxic Icon Podcast has always got some badass podcasts banging around, and there's some good conversations. I'm even on one. Oh, so check that out. Go check out my podcast over on The Tip. Ugh. I just like saying that. I just like saying The Tip. I can't help it. Night Owl 30, what's up, dog? How you doing? Welcome in. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. What else is going on? Aaron Gisclair, because. Okay. Thanks for being here, Aaron. I appreciate you. Perry Moberg's throwing $10 out there. Perry, I really appreciate your support as always, my dude. Saying, I know you have a long watch list, but I recommend The Loved Ones to you a while back. I think you'll love it. The plot synopsis online is very misleading. Ignore it. The Loved Ones. Okay, I'm going to watch this. Perry, I unfortunately I don't have a whole lot of free time as I have so many hats, not just this one that I'm wearing right now, but I run 3 YouTube channels, actually 4 now. I run 4 YouTube channels. I'm currently in pre-production for 4 short films that I plan on filming all next year, and I'm so tired. but I promise I will watch this as soon as possible. I am going to get to all of these. Someone recommended that I watch People Under the Stairs like a year ago, and I finally got around to watching it this past weekend. So I really do write down all of your recommendations. I have a list. I have a notebook over here, and I have it would take me way too long to flip to the page, but I write down every single one, and I do get to them eventually. But sometimes it takes me a year. Sometimes I have a whole weekend with time to kill. But oh my God, shit's insane on my end, man. But I promise I will check this out eventually. We will get to it. I did watch People Under the Stairs though, and Perry, I can't remember if it was you who recommended that to me, somebody a long time ago, but I did finally watch that, and I fucking loved it. It is one of my favorite Wes Craven movies without a doubt. Holy shit, I can't believe I've never watched that. I'm actually mad at myself for never watching it. And it's perfect that Monkey Paw Productions, Jordan Peele, his production studios, is redoing it. It feels like a Jordan Peele movie. If I'm being real, it feels like a 90s Jordan Peele movie that just went under the radar or something. I fucking loved it. It was so creepy, but it also told a great story. The story was my favorite part of it. Ignore the scares. The story overall was fantastic. Seriously, one of my favorite Wes Craven movies. He was just on it in the fucking 90s, dude. Oh my God. 90s Wes Craven is peak Wes Craven, in my opinion. Nothing tops it. Whew, damn. My dude was killing it then. But I swear to God, I will check it out, and I will not read the plot synopsis. The Loved Ones. Let's check it out, Perry. Dude, as always, I really appreciate your support. You're always coming in these streams and throwing out some super chats, and it really does mean a lot to me, man. Thank you for the constant support. And thanks for just hanging out with me, too. Really does mean a lot, man. Thank you. Garrett Peck is saying, as a Eli Roth fan, I'm so glad everyone seems to dig Thanksgiving. Definitely, the majority consensus is very positive on it. It's got some good Rotten Tomato scores as well. So I'm with you, Garrett. I'm glad so many people really enjoyed this one. Really clicked with people. Night Owl 30 is saying Matthew Lillard literally looks the same, just older. I disagree. He definitely looks a little different from, like, if we're comparing Stu, like specifically Stu to now. His voice is the same, though. I will agree with you there. Like, if you close your eyes and listen to Matthew Lillard now versus like 25 years ago, it's the same. It is like exactly the same. He's got that little bit of, hey, how's it going? Little bit of that, like in the back of the throat, I cannot do an impression of the guy, but it's a little more like, I'm a little surfer bro in there. It's like, yeah. He's got a little bit of that. He's a little more relaxed, He's just a great guy. God damn. Oh, well, one of my favorite celebrities to meet, without a doubt. Fantastic. Hip Hop Mike. Oh shit, Mike. Okay. I love it. I love the name. Hey, Jake, what did you think of No One Will Save You? It's my number one Alien movie. Loved how they made some aliens move like some of my favorite horror characters. I loved it. Blew me away. Okay, so Dead Meat recently posted a tweet about this, saying that they didn't love the gimmick of the movie. I really think my only criticism of the whole film is that there's just a handful of scenes, not even, like one or two scenes where I feel like the gimmick of her not talking doesn't work. But literally besides that, that's my only criticism. I fucking loved it. It's a top 10 horror film of the year for me. If you have not seen this one, it's on Hulu. I highly recommend it. No One Will Save You. Fantastic. It's very much so a thriller more than anything. I mean, yes, it's got the supernatural alien aspects to it, but it feels like a home invasion thriller from the perspective of like one person. And then it just, it turns into an alien movie. It's fucking crazy, but a really solid movie. Hip Hop Mike. I respect it being your number one alien movie. Damn. It's definitely my top 10. Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Alien, come on, man. Like Alien and Aliens are just so good. Love those movies. And there's it does pay homage to those in a lot of ways, which is cool. The Blue Light, you know what I'm talking about. But man, loved it. It's such a good movie. It's one that's flying. That and Cobweb are both flying under the radar so badly. And they deserve more love, dude. Like there's a chaotic side of me that wants to put No One Will Save You and Cobweb like at the top of my list just to put more attention towards those movies because they're both so good. So I'm with you, Hip Hop Mike. It's a fucking banger. Check this one out. No One Will Save You on Hulu. So good. So good. What else is going on? Jacob Myers is saying, if Blumhouse was sick and tired of telling Michael Myers stories, hang on, then they should have either ended the trilogy with kills or have a different film company do ends, but better. Well, Blumhouse wanted to make the money. Let's be real, man. I mean, they definitely wanted to make 3 movies, get their money's worth out of it. And I would say they mostly, I think, did. It's not as big of a loss as like The Exorcist, where they paid $400 million for the fucking rights. And man, they're going to lose money on that. Like, I'm just going to be honest. There's no workaround, but you have to take gambles like that. You got to take gambles like that with big film companies. And the other thing too is they knew Five Nights at Freddy's was going to be a big success. I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's is huge for Blumhouse. Like a lot of people are saying, not everyone's saying this, but I have heard a few people say like Blumhouse is on the out, with the quality of a lot of their films going down. The majority of Blumhouse movies, I would say recently have been misses, but dude, I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's made way more money than Halloween 2018. Like it is blowing past that now at this point. And I could see it going even further. It's going to be their flagship franchise. Like they knew that was going to be big, so that's why they took a risk with The Exorcist. They were thinking, oh, we might make some money with this too. Let's see. Let's take a risk and spend $400 million. I get why they did it, but I feel like they're going to lose even more money than they think on those movies, just because the majority of people weren't crazy about the new one, and there's not a whole lot of excitement for the next one. There's rumor that David Gordon Green might get fired from the next 2 movies. So, clearly there's something going on behind the scenes that we just don't know about at the moment. I don't know. I don't know how I got there. We were talking about Halloween, but point being, Blumhouse is probably going to just keep telling the same story over and over again with a lot of their flagship franchises because, well, the name alone will, get them money. Which I'm not going to say any more than that because now I'm getting into speculation territory. And I just, why badmouth a studio that you're not even 100%, I'm not affiliated with them. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I'm just speculating. I'm just a simple horror fan that wants good movies. I really am. That's all I am at the end of the day. And I have my opinions. Sometimes I'm a little too passionate about them. But anyways, Kiki, words are hard, is saying Eli Roth is pretty hot, but Thanksgiving bore me despite my high expectations. What an interesting review this is. I can't argue with that. Eli Roth is a very attractive man. Thanksgiving bore ya. Damn. It's a hard. I can't imagine being bored during that movie. Damn. I'm sorry, Kiki. I'm sorry you were bored during it, man. I was falling out of my seat laughing. I swear to God, even in the first 5 minutes, I was fucking cracking up. It's a fucking hilarious movie. Danaheim. Danaheim? Is it like Dana Hine? Or is it like Anaheim? But without the M. I don't know what's going on here, but I dig it. Love this slasher wave. We deserve it. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do, Danaheim. I love that name. I don't know what's going on there, but I still dig it. Paul is with us. Just Paul. What's up, dog? Is that like the Alien movie where Seth Rogen voices the little CGI alien? I don't know. Maybe that's who I'm talking to. But Paul, how's it going? Maybe you're one of the Lost Beatles members that's just hanging out in the stream. We need an MCU horror universe where all the horror icons are in the same universe. They teased it in Bride of Chucky in the opening. You know, I just found out that there's a video game where it has like all the horror icons being able to fight each other. That's what I want from this, Paul. Like that's, I'm so glad that exists. I did not know that was the thing. It's called Terror Dome. Makes me very happy though. I will tell you that. So check that out, Paul. Check it out, man. That shit sounds like a lot of fun. Life of Fonz is with us tonight saying, oh my God, is that another Frank? Holy shit. We've had a couple of Franks in the profile pictures tonight. How weird. Donnie Darko, baby. Okay, fuck yeah. Thanksgiving ruled. My favorite since Haunt that Mr. Roth has done. Love you, Jake. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Haunt was a fantastic movie, only produced by Eli Roth, but definitely, has a little bit of his style in there for sure. I really enjoyed that one. I don't know if he had any creative control over that movie though. That was what's his name? Scott Beck and Brian Woods. Yeah, they wrote that. I know they wrote that movie. That's one of my favorite Beck and Woods movies though. I got to be honest. Like they're very hit or miss. Like they also did 65 and The Boogeyman, and those were misses. But man, I really did enjoy Haunt. Haunt in a Quiet Place. Top shelf. Bangers. But yeah, no, Thanksgiving, it was awesome. I fucking loved it. I hope we get a sequel. It would be cool. Or at the very least, I hope that Eli Roth does just another horror movie. I'm excited for Borderlands, but it does seem like he's not excited for it. That's all I'm going to say. He left the project early to start working on Thanksgiving, and Tim Miller was then in charge of reshoots. So I don't know. That screams that he wasn't a big fan of it. But you never know. You never know, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Once again, it's all speculation. Garrett Peck is saying the big three I haven't seen this year are Scream 6, Saw X, and When Evil Lurks. Oh, dude. I recommend all three of those. I'm going to be honest. If you like the Scream films, you'll love Scream 6. If you don't, you might not. That's all I'm going to say. Same thing with Saw X. If you love the Saw films, you will love Saw X. If you don't really like the Saw films, you won't like Saw X. And When Evil Lurks, I think is just an excellent... it's got problems, but it's an excellent kind of apocalypse movie. Like kind of, it's very much so its own animal. I had a very specific problem with that movie that it kept doing something over and over and over again, but it was cool. It was a very interesting movie, and I recommend it. So check that one out, Garrett. It's good. Paul is saying I still have never seen The Exorcist. I'm weird about possession movies. Paul, I'll be honest with you. The cream of the crop is the original The Exorcist, in my opinion. Like the 1973 movie, it's the best one. Everything else pretty much that came after that is trying to copy it. That's a hot take. There's a lot of possession movies I like, but pretty much you can sum up the majority of other possession films as they saw The Exorcist and decided to go their own route. So you got to see this one. It's a banger. I really enjoy it. I didn't think we'd have a big Exorcist conversation today. I really do love this film a lot, and I decided to wear the shirt, and people seem to be digging that. So fuck yeah. I dig it. I always love when that happens. Mason Kirwin? I like it though. MC. Hi, Jake. How's your day been? Fan-fucking-tastic. I've dropped into your stream to say hi. I wanted to stay by, but I've got some writing to do. You're doing a fan fiction Saw story in the year 1888? Oh! Old time Saw. Okay. I'm fucking down for that's really cool. Period piece Saw. Let's see it, dude. Run it, Mason. I dig that, man. Good luck to you in your writing, and thanks for dropping by. Thanks for saying hi, man. I'm gonna catch up with the chat a little bit because I'm real behind. But here we go. Austin Daniels is saying, I really enjoyed the last 30 minutes of Thanksgiving. One of the character deaths, even though I knew it was coming, it shocked me. It was the dinner scene towards the end for those who've seen it. Yeah, that, I should have said, I really should have talked more about that in my review. That was one of my favorite kills in the whole movie was during the dinner scene. It's so, like, it's so minimal, but I think for that reason, it was so effective. You know what I mean? There was definitely some much more like big time kills that were like way crazier and in your face. But I don't know. Something about the simplicity of that specific kill really was fantastic. I really liked it. Jason Carpenter is saying, for me, Thanksgiving was like I Know What You Did Last Summer on steroids with the gore ramped up. Some nice winks to Scream Halloween while doing its own thing. I really loved the November vibe. I Know What You Did Last Summer. It definitely had okay. I mean, like they have the parade. Yeah, there's definitely, those scenes are very similar, I will say. Very different movies in terms of tone, though. Like I Know What You Did Last Summer is much more Kevin Williamson, his style of camp, where I feel like Thanksgiving is Eli Roth's style of camp, which are very different. Like I think Eli Roth is much more into the darker sides of horror where Kevin Williamson is not, and that's okay. That's totally fine. Two different sides of the same coin, essentially. But I will say similar plot points, I will say for sure. And yes, absolutely some Scream and Halloween vibes. Like right from the beginning, there's a Halloween reference, which I thought was very cool. What else do we got going on? Hip Hop Mike is saying, Scream 6 pissed me off so bad because it was going so good. I was like, finally, they're nailing a Scream sequel. None could outdo Scream 6, was easily taken second place, and then the end happened. That's fair. We do have people in the chat who have not seen it, so I won't say any more than that. But killer reveal, I wasn't crazy about either, Hip Hop Mike. I will say it didn't piss me off personally, but I wasn't crazy about it. I was kind of let down with that point in the movie too. But the rest of it makes up for that, in my opinion. There are things in Scream 6 that no other movie does that makes me so happy. I'm like, finally they did this. Finally they did all of these things that I've been wanting to see from the franchise for such a long time, taking it in a new direction until the last 20% of it. But hey, you know what? We have the first 80% of the film, and I'll take it. It's not, like I said, it's not a perfect film, but I really do enjoy it for what it is. It's a solid 8 out of 10 in my opinion. BMCC YTPS. I don't know what that stands for, but I really dig it. And I really like this take, which is not a hot take at all, in my opinion. Barbarian is in my top 3 horror movies it did come out last year, but man, tell you what, Barbarian, fucking badass, dude. I loved it. Great movie. We were talking a little earlier about 2020 horror movies, like what our top 10 would be for the entire decade thus far. Barbarian is without a doubt in that list. Oh shit, what else would be in there? I think out of my entire, ranking all of 2020, the 2020s horror, Barbarian would be in there, Terrifier 2 would be in there, Invisible Man would be in there for me, The Wrong Turn remake, I think is in there for me, maybe a little more towards the bottom, but it's in the top 10. Oh, what else would I put in there? Damn. It's really tough. There's been a lot of good movies, man. Maybe some of my top 5 from this year too. But I can't disagree with that, dude. Barbarian, fantastic movie. Why have we not gotten a physical release of it, is my question. It's still just on HBO Max, and that makes me sad. Put out a physical release of that movie. It's so good. One of my favorite horror movies, without a doubt. From the 2020s, without a doubt. Jacob Myers is asking, what are your top 5 Halloween movies? For you, it's 78, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, 2018, and Kills. That's very similar to mine, I'm going to be honest. Those are what else would I would probably replace Halloween 4 with something personally, but damn, 2018 Kills and the original 2, those are definitely, I would put Halloween. Okay, honestly, the only thing I would change about that is replace Halloween 4 with Halloween 3. For me personally, Halloween 3, it's got a certain vibe to it that just no other movie has. It's got a great B-movie feel to it. It's so fucking funny. So funny. Tom Atkins is pulling every single woman in that entire film. It's ridiculous. It's like, what is even going on here? What is happening? What is happening in this movie? This is ridiculous. Very fun. It's a very funny and silly movie with some crazy effects and the most ridiculous twist I've ever seen in a movie. I just love it. It's just so funny to me. Halloween 3, fantastic little B movie. But yeah, that would probably be my top 5 too. The 2018 movie and Kills are so good, and the original 2 are fantastic. I just watched Halloween 2 again recently too. It's a fucking banger, dude. I mean, it really does feel like an extension of 1. Besides one little dumb detail about Michael Myers and Laurie Strode being brother and sister. That sucks. That's the only thing about the film I would change though. The rest of it, so good. And even, a lot of people criticize Laurie for being in the hospital bed the whole time, but I think after watching Halloween Kills, I've come to appreciate Halloween 2 a lot more because for the majority of the time she's in bed and just chilling, but she has a badass fucking fight with them at the end of the film. So I'll take that. I'll take that. That excuses the first 2 acts. And it's not like she's doing nothing. Like in Halloween Kills, Laurie Strode does absolutely nothing. In Halloween 2, she gets to do some stuff, at least. So I don't know. Halloween Kills has definitely made me appreciate 2 a lot more than I did in the past. I will say that. Robbie Olson is saying, in my opinion, Michael Myers got thrown in a shredder. I think the Halloween franchise is done. They can always reboot it. They can always reboot it, tell a whole new story. I really think that's where they're going next with this with this show that they're going to end up doing. Probably, Haddonfield getting attacked by Michael Myers again or something. They might do the anthology route, but I do want to stress that was not Miramax that was saying that they were going to do that. That was a different company. So I don't know if they're going to go that route and do like the Halloween 3 style anthology horror series. I really don't think that's going to be the case, but you never know. You really never know. Anything's possible with that new series. I don't know. There's a lot of people who have been saying like, I'm kind of done with Halloween. We just got 3 movies. I'm a little exhausted with Michael Myers. Totally fair. If you're in that boat, I see it. I would want another movie though, because I do feel like there is an entire section of the fandom, and we have some people in the chat who really loves Halloween Ends. I respect it. But what I will say is there's an entire section of the fandom right now that feels that Halloween Ends was kind of like a waste of time. It was a movie that wasn't about Michael Myers and wasn't really a Halloween film. So for me, it's like, they should take advantage of that. They should take advantage of that and make some other studio should just make a Halloween, like a straight up Halloween film, have it take place in the 70s. Don't plan a whole trilogy. Just do one movie where it's Michael Myers killing people. I mean, listen, for all the people that complained, and there was a lot of people that said they did not like Halloween Ends, you're telling me they wouldn't flock to the theaters to see that movie, which is pretty much exactly what they want. I've seen criticisms of that. I've seen people say, well, Halloween Ends tried to do something different. Why didn't, I don't want the same thing every single time. There's that argument as well. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I personally do think that it's such a missed opportunity for Miramax or whoever has the rights. They should do that. They should make that happen. Like, why not? Have anybody do it too. Just a simple Halloween movie where it's just him killing babysitters again, honestly would suffice. I would want them to do more than that personally, but I don't know. If I was a big Hollywood studio and I was paying attention to horror trends and all that, with slashers being on the up and up, I would fucking make a Halloween movie where it's just simple, clean cut slasher, Michael Myers killing people again. And yeah, people would criticize it and say, well, this is just Halloween 2018, but dumber. but me personally, I would be down to see that. I would be very down to see that right now. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people that would too, but I don't know. I feel like that's an opportunity a very rare opportunity that we have in the Halloween franchise right now. I'd take advantage of it personally. Wishmaster never got as much love as it deserves. I agree. Wishmaster, that first Wishmaster is a really fun little movie. If you have not seen it, it's got a lot of horror icons in it as well. And some really interesting kills. They might not all look good, but they're very creative. I will say that. Wishmaster is a very fun movie. We should have a resurgence of that. I don't know if it needs like a remake or anything like that, but I would say, give some more love. Put some respect on the name of Wishmaster for sure. Mike Silva is with us too. Did I say Mike Silva is praising Wishmaster? Okay. I vibe with it. Love it. Night Owl is saying Halloween fans are like those children who only eat the same thing again and again and again. If you stray away from the usual unseasoned chicken nugget, they throw a tantrum. I think that's a little unfair. I don't know. I think like if you make something that's wildly different in a popular franchise, like people, there is going to be a negative reaction no matter what it is. There are a lot of movies though, like a lot of horror franchises that have done something different that I've praised. Wrong Turn. We were talking about the Wrong Turn remake. That is very different than the other movies, and I personally loved it, but a lot of people did not like it because it's not what they were expecting. I respect that. I respect the people who want the same thing every single time. I would say the majority of people feel that way about long-standing franchises. I think there's a happy middle ground though between doing something new and doing something familiar, and that's what sequels or remakes should strive for personally. And I do feel that Halloween Ends falls in the category of too far new, too much new. And I know a lot of people disagree with that. Night Owl, I think we've talked about it before, but point being, I do feel like it was just too much. I think if they had started with Halloween Ends, like that was the route we're taking this, like this is going to be the vibe of these next 3 movies, it could have gained like a big following. But the fact that they started it off as this is a Halloween movie, we're going to make Halloween movies, and then they don't do that. They also advertised Halloween Ends as a Halloween movie, and it's just not, and that's okay. Like if you love it, that's okay, but it's not a Halloween movie. It is absolutely an evolution. I think that was the wrong way to market the film for sure. Like they should have marketed it as this is going to be something different. But maybe there's a reason they didn't want to do that. You know, why didn't they market it that way? It's because people wouldn't have showed up to the theater. But I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. I'm down for franchises trying new stuff out, but you gotta do it in doses. You can't make a Nightmare on Elm Street film that isn't funny. You know what I mean? Like you can't do that. Like even New Nightmare has funny moments in it. People would revolt. You can't make a straightforward, serious Nightmare on Elm Street Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Even though I know a lot of people would dig that, the majority of fans wouldn't because they're used to Freddy throwing quips out there. You know, there are just some things about if you're working in a respective franchise that you just have to keep consistent, or it's not going to work. You got to know what people love about a franchise, and then you got to know where you can tweak things. I think, and that's where the majority of successful remakes, successful sequels come from. Is they know what to tweak. They know what to expand upon and what not to change ever. Because there are some things in respective franchises that you should never change, man. And it's tough. It's sometimes it is tough to know what those things are and where they are, where they aren't. But that's just my opinion, of course. Some people fucking love Halloween Ends. There are people who are still tweeting about it to this day, and I respect it. If that's your opinion. I will say I think it's getting a little toxic from the people who do like it, though. There are people online saying things like, oh, people just don't understand the masterpiece that is this movie. I think that's incredibly toxic. Don't be saying shit like that. If you love it, hell yeah, all the power to you. But don't devalue my opinion of disliking it just because you really like it. That's cool. That's cool if you like it. It's a movie, and if it brings you love, fantastic. But don't be saying shit like, oh, people just don't understand the masterpiece that is this movie. And also, my farts don't stink, just for the record. Just to write that down and add that to my Halloween Ends comment. I don't know. There's a little bit of that going on right now, and I'm not a fan of it. But if you like the movie, hell yeah. Talk about what you love about the movie, but don't say shit like that, man. Come on. I rip up ma. I'm sorry, I don't know. Ira Pupma. I'm assuming that's your name. What's up, dog? Just watched the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Give me a review. Throw it out in the chat. What did you think of it? What did you think of FNAF? What did you think of it? Leave me something about it in the comments. That's something I say at the end of all my videos. Has there been any new updates on the Peacock Crystal Lake series? Yes, actually, a little tiny update, nothing crazy. Adrian King, who's going to be in the new series, was on a podcast talking a little bit about it and saying how different it's going to be from typical Friday stuff, which, oh boy, has Jake super worried. So that was a big update. They're doing something different for Crystal Lake. It's going to be something where I don't think it's going to be Jason killing people the whole time. I think it's going to be a Pamela story. I don't know. I don't care. I'm going to be honest. I have no interest in that. I'll check it out. You know, I'll do a review of it because it is the first Friday the 13th thing we've gotten since 2009. So I gotta watch it, whatever it is, but I really think that's a bad direction for them to go. That brings us right back to our Halloween Ends discussion. We're starting off with Halloween Ends. You know, we're starting off with something different. I will say, if you want to do something different, this is the route to go. And if that's what Victor Miller and the rest of the people working on this, that's the way they feel. They feel that doing something different is the right way to go. I'm going to check it out, but I really, and I strongly feel this way, that they should give us a movie where it's Jason killing people first and foremost. Like the number one thing they do. They can do Crystal Lake, the series, if they give us a movie first. Like I would be inclined to watch something new and advertise it that way, that it's going to be something new if they give us a movie of familiarity first. Like imagine this, right? If Halloween 2018 comes out, it's this big success, badass, whatever. Then they make a movie where they advertise it as passing the torch of evil from one thing to the next generation, whatever. And they advertise the next Halloween film. It's not Halloween Kills at this point. It's a brand new continuation where Michael Myers is not in it and it's going to be about a different character. They advertise it that way and they still call it Halloween. Then I feel like more people would really like it because they know what they're in for. It's the same thing with Crystal Lake right now, man. They're advertising it as a Jason series. This is going to be a Friday the 13th property when clearly it's going to be something else. And you know, this is not, Adrian King said this on a podcast, you know what I mean? So most people don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about right now. Most people don't know about this. They just know about the update we got last year where Crystal Lake got announced, new Friday the 13th thing in the works. It's coming out probably in 2024 or 2025. That's what we know about it, you know, and the marketing for it when it got announced was we're able to use everything is what they said. One of the producers said, we're able to use everything because we're working with somebody from Horror Incorporated, which means to every fan out there that Jason Voorhees is going to be in the series and will start killing people. And if that's not the case, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, we haven't had a Friday the 13th property since 2009. There's so much excitement for Jason on the big screen again or on the small screen. You can't be saying shit like that if you're going to try to do something different. And according to Adrian King, that's the case. Advertise it as so. Don't say you have the ability to use everything when you're just simply not. That's okay if you're not going to, but advertise it as so. Don't lie to fans because then it's going to be a Halloween Ends situation all over again. The people that I guarantee you there is a big percentage of people that don't like Halloween Ends because they were blindsided by it. They were expecting the ending to the story, a film that focused on Laurie Strode and Michael Myers going at it. And that is at best an afterthought in that film. And that's why people don't, I guarantee you a maybe small percentage of people that don't like it are the people who are blindsided by the fact that it's just not what was advertised. It's the same thing with Crystal Lake right now, and it's going to fail unless they advertise it as what it's going to be, which from everything I've heard, besides past the announcement, is that it's going to be some Pamela Voorhees focused story about like before the time, but basically before the events of the first movie. And that's fine. If you want to tell that story, go for it. I'm not going, my personal opinion is I'm really not as interested in that as like a new Jason story. But if you want to tell that, do it and advertise it as so. I cannot stress that more because people are going to be so disappointed when it's not that. I'm telling you, I know some people are totally down. They're like, I want to know more context about Pamela Voorhees. Fuck yeah, I respect the opinion for people who feel that way. But I'm telling you, so many people are going to get blindsided by this and it's going to get like just eradicated with negative reviews because people are saying that Jason's going to be a focus point when maybe Kid Jason is in one episode killing one person, which I'm heavily suspecting is going to be the case. But let me stop being pessimistic for a second because Hollywood Guy just threw $5 out there. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you. Saying, Jake, Jello, you said hello. I'm just fucking with you. Saying, what do you think of the Marvel movie debacle? It looks like the fans are hating it. Do you mean like, what do you think of like the Marvel movie, like the hates, like the, some of the things like the negative reviews going on with the movies and all that? I have a very complex opinion about this. I think the majority of the time I talk about Marvel movies, I'm just like, oh, they suck. Like I'm not crazy about them anymore. That's not fair necessarily because I do think that there are good things that have come from Marvel past Endgame. There are. just not everything. I would say the majority of things that have come from Marvel past Endgame, I have not been crazy about. But every now and then they have something that's really fucking solid. Loki was really good. Guardians 3 was really fucking good. It felt like old school Marvel. I really love both of those properties. But I just haven't been crazy about some of the other stuff that they put out. And I got to be honest, Hollywood guy, I was a huge Marvel fan. Like, I really enjoyed the lead up to, Infinity War and Endgame and all that. I really do love a lot of those movies. But I don't know, man. The majority of the stuff I've seen from Marvel in the last 2 or 3 years, I'm just, man, not really, not for me. It feels very cookie cutter. It kind of feels like the same movie over and over again. But not everything. Like Guardians 3, big outlier, like a huge outlier. But I would say for the majority of what they put out, I just haven't been a fan of it. It just feels like they're pumping out the same thing over and over and over again. But once again, not with everything. Mostly everything, but not everything. So I don't know. That's kind of my take on it. I think there are some people that are being like extremely harsh, like for the people who just saw like Thor: Love and Thunder, which is a disaster. Like, without a doubt, that is a disaster of a movie. I don't know what the fuck happened with that, but I will say there are some good stuff. There is every now and then. Oh, and like Werewolves by Night, is that what it's called? That was pretty good. Every now and then they have something cool. I do feel like they rush projects nowadays, which actually is factual. There is a lot of evidence of that, especially from the not graphic design, from the CGI and VFX departments. They have been rushing those people to pump out as much content as possible. Thankfully, that is getting reformed now. There have been announcements about that. So I don't know. I think Marvel could make a comeback. It's absolutely possible. They're still making money. They're still pumping them out. They're still making money on some of these movies. I don't know. I hope they come back, because at one point they were a really respectable universe. I just think they've pushed the same story too much. They got to start reinventing it, or superheroes are just not going to be popular anymore, it's currently one of the biggest things right now, man. I mean, oh my God. At least it was. I don't know if the excitement for superhero movies is still where it was like 5 years ago, but it's still a dominating genre without a doubt. Hollywood guy, thank you for the $5 though, man. I really do appreciate you. Thank you. Jet9 Lives is saying, hello, Jake. Hope you've been well. Thanks, Jet9 Lives. I appreciate you. I have been well. Chilling out, making it happen. It's November, so it's one of the toughest times to talk about horror on this page, but thankfully, I'm actually super thankful for everyone watching my Terrifier 3 videos. Those have been doing well. And because of that, I'm working on a gigantic video coming out either, and most likely on Wednesday, talking all about all the Terrifier mysteries, like all of the things that are mysterious in the universe that people want questions to. What I will say is, if you're a Terrifier fan, there's one thing in particular that I caught something in Terrifier 2 that made me realize, oh my God, I've been thinking about a certain aspect or certain character of this franchise, something that was introduced in Terrifier 2 the wrong way. I've been thinking about it the wrong way this whole time, and I'm like, I cannot believe I missed this. So I'm very excited to make a video all about that, coming out most likely Wednesday. And oh my God, I just can't wait. It's going to be a really fun video. It's going to be a long one too. All about the mysterious stuff going on in the Terrifier universe, all the mysteries. I'm going to talk a little bit about just all that, some of my thoughts on it, and my leading theory right now. So I'm hyped, man. Jet9 Lives, it's nice to see you though, man. It's been a minute. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for coming in and saying yo. Garrett is saying, I did see Werewolf by Night. Hey, it was horror. It was. Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was a cool one. A cool little short. That was fun. What would your reaction be if Laurie Strode died in Halloween Kills due to her wounds from Michael Myers in 2018? Ah, man, that would suck. I would be fine with Laurie dying from Michael Myers, like there in the moment, but I don't know, her dying from her wounds in the previous film. Oh man, I don't know about that. I would be down, I would be fine with Laurie getting killed by Michael, but as long as it wasn't at the beginning of the movie, it's different. I think that if you have the dramatic conclusion be that Laurie Strode dies, but Karen or Allison was able to take them down or something, that would be cool. To me, the timeline there in the new run of David Gordon Green films. What happens in my mind, and you can choose to do this or not too, that's totally up to you, is the first movie happens, Halloween 2018 happens, and then almost all of Halloween Kills happens. Well, where it stops, in my opinion, is Karen leads Michael Myers out to the entire townsfolk, and they beat the shit out of him, and he dies. That's it. That's the end of the timeline to me. That's where my headcanon is that it stops. But that, me personally, that's what I believe happened. And that's it. Laurie Strode unfortunately could not. I think it's kind of poetic that Laurie Strode tries to get out of bed, and she's stapling her stomach together so she can go fight Michael, and she can't. She has to stay behind, and the townsfolk does it for her, who have, like, in her mind, shut her out and shut her away. She feels like an outcast, but then the town helps her. In a way, I think it's kind of poetic and beautiful that it would end that way. So in my headcanon, that's what happens. Because Halloween Ends is not the way to end that story, in my opinion. But I don't know, the Halloween 2018 means a lot to me, because when I was getting into horror in like the summer of 2018, I was so hyped for Halloween 2018. I mean, I remember that's when I started watching like 3C films and like Drum Dums and all those guys who were like covering it at the time. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be so fucking good. I'm so hyped. And I saw that movie and I fucking loved it. I was like, this is everything I could have wanted and more. I love Halloween 2018. It's so good. And the theater experience, everybody, it was a packed house and everybody was clapping. My girlfriend at the time did not give a shit about the movie, which made me sad. And we're no longer together. But oh my God, like I was losing my mind. I'm like, oh fuck yeah. I remember when the spikes shot out and Michael's just looking up through the stairs. People were getting out of their seats and shit. They were going like, oh, no way. Oh, people were like spitting and shit. I'm kidding. That didn't happen. But I just loved that. I don't know. I was so hyped with that movie, and seeing Halloween Ends a couple of years later, it kind of broke my heart in a lot of ways, because I was just like, I was so hyped for the end to this epic story, because like Halloween Kills, it has its downfalls, but in my opinion, it's not that much of a far cry from Halloween 2018's quality. Like, it's solid for what it is. It's definitely a step down from 2018, but I really like it. It's a really fun movie with a lot of kills. It's got some brutal action in it, and I really like the beginning of that movie is fantastic. The flashbacks to 1978, in my opinion, are the best recreation of a movie in any requel that we've gotten. Like Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Halloween Kills is the best recreation of an old movie that I've ever seen, bar none. Say what you want about David Gordon Green, but holy shit, the attention to detail in the beginning of Halloween Kills is so fucking good. I wouldn't do, there's nothing I would change, not even the smallest minute detail. It is such a good continuation for how Halloween 78 ended in this timeline. I just love it. I love every second of it. It's so good. So I don't know. That's just my take. That's my how I view the universe and where they go. What the actual timeline is in my mind. But that's just my opinion. Chris Barton is asking the tough question here. Are you excited more for Terrifier 3 or Scream 7? Here's the thing, man. If we were talking, this is a tough question to answer because I have a lot of worries about Scream 7 right now. There are some rumors about the film that have me scared about the future, where Terrifier 3, basically everything I know about it is the best possible scenario. So I don't know. I think I'm the only reason I'm more excited for Terrifier 3 is because I know it's going to be good based off of all the things I know. Damien Leone is going to do a great job with it. He's so serious about pushing the envelope with this one, making it scarier, topping shit from the past, and I appreciate that. Where Scream 7, some of the things I know is that it's coming out post-strike, and it's going to be heavily affected because it is part of an AMPTP studio. It worries me. There's a lot of things to be worried about. We're changing directors, which is always going to be a transition of some sort. I know some people are very excited with Christopher Landon. I am too. But, changing creatives, potentially changing writers to maybe adding writers. It's going to be a lot of cooks in the kitchen on this one. That worries me. I think out of all of the new Scream films, the one that I was probably worried about the most is without a doubt Scream 7. I have worries about this one. It's also the final chapter in a requel trilogy, which infamously are not good across the board. Star Wars 9, Jurassic World Dominion, Halloween Ends, in my opinion, I'm not crazy about. So I don't know, man. A lot of things would say that Scream 7 is not going to be good, but I'm staying hopeful for this one. I'm hoping Christopher Landon does a really good job. And I really hope he's working with a script that doesn't suck. Please, if there's a horror god, please, please make sure he's working with a good script. That's what I'm worried about more than anything, Chris, is that the script itself will not be good. I have total and utter faith in Christopher Landon to direct a Scream film. Maybe more than Radio Silence. Don't tell Radio Silence I said that, though, because I love them too. But Christopher Landon, the direction side of things, no worries. Transition might be a little weird because we're moving creatives and we're still telling the same story, most likely. But I'm not worried there. It's the writing that I'm the most concerned about. There's rumor has it there's going to be like 4 writers on Scream 7. Who knows if that's true or not? But man, I don't know. I'm very worried about the film. I was really excited for, Scream 5. I didn't know what to expect because Radio Silence, I had faith in them. I was like, okay, cool. This should be good. We have Guy Busick and James Vanderbilt writing, which I'm not crazy about all of James Vanderbilt's credits, so I was a little worried there, but it ended up being a really fun movie, and I really enjoy it. It's not my favorite Scream film, but Scream 5 is fun. Scream 6, I was even more excited for because I saw quality. I saw things that I could latch onto in Scream 5, and Scream 6, in my opinion, does it better. It's an even better film. But now with Scream 7, this is the first one where I'm genuinely concerned. I feel like something could go wrong, and it might not be up to par, but hopefully it breaks that requel trend like Scream has always done. Scream is a trend breaker. And a trend starter. So I really hope they manage to do that. But oh God, I'm worried. Oh fuck, I'm worried, man. I want some news for it, man. I want some news so I can stop feeling so worried. Something to have a clearer picture of what's going on behind the scenes. Hollywood Guys throwing $5 out there. Thank you so much, my dude. Appreciate you. Jake, I have a random dumb question. What would you rather have in your collection? A Jason poster signed by Kane Hodder or a cameo in Scream 7? I meant a Scream poster. Wait, what? You meant a Scream poster signed by Kane Hodder? I love Kane Hodder, don't get me wrong, but he's not in the Scream movies. So I don't know if I would want him to sign a Scream poster. I would definitely want the cameo in Scream 7. I love Kane Hodder, and I would love to meet him someday, but I would absolutely want a Jason poster signed by him. Maybe like a Part 7 poster, because I love Part 7. Part 7 is very near and dear to my heart. Oh, I might watch that tonight, actually. I love Part 7. So much fun. God damn, it's good. But yes, no, I'm definitely doing the cameo. I would love to just have 2 seconds in a Scream movie. Even if I don't get killed, I just want 2 seconds of me on screen being like, "What's up, Melissa Barrera?" And then I get stabbed in the chest and fall over. Like the bodega scene, the guy's waiting in line. I want that to be me. That's all I want. I want my Matt Pat cameo where I just say some stupid shit and get off screen. That's all I want. That would be great. Nothing would make me happier. It's just me and like Zach Cherry craving something scary, and we're all just waiting in line for something, and then we all get sliced in the throat all simultaneously. That's all I want. I'll take it. That's cool. Christopher Landon, you got my digits, dog. He doesn't, but I hope maybe he does. Nothing would make me happier, Hollywood Guy. Dude, thank you so much for the $5 though. Again, Hollywood Guy, you are going to be the MVP of this video I'm making for Wednesday, dog. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a fun one to make. We had some really good super chat questions tonight. You guys are on fire. Oh my God. I even said at the beginning of this, I'm like, even throw something stupid out there to make it kind of fun. You guys like across the board asked me some great questions tonight. Like this has been a fantastic stream. Perry Moberg was asking about like the my watch list. Hollywood Guy asked about like Marvel movies and Scream 7. Been some really good questions tonight, man. Shit. Loved it. You guys are always fun to talk horror with. It's always fun. It's always fun on here. Chris Barton is saying not horror related, but what is your opinion on the movies released in this summer of this year? I fucking loved Barbie and Oppenheimer. Loved them. Like 2 of my favorite movies just in general from the year. If I was ranking top 10 of the year, Barbie and Oppenheimer would be in my top 5. I fucking loved both of them. And for totally different reasons too. It was a great double feature because I personally love eclectic double features where it's like shit that had nothing to do with the previous one. Like I like to watch like something like Ex Machina and follow it up with Willy's Wonderland, like something like that, like two totally different films going for two totally different things. I love double features like that. In fact, I did what did we do the other night? Furious 7 and what was it? 22 Jump Street. We did both of those movies back to back. Oddly similar movies in a weird way, but definitely a fun double feature. Both of those movies are insane. I love them. But Barbie, Oppenheimer, it's so good. I have yet to see Killers of the Flower Moon, but that's on my radar. I really want to watch that. And Napoleon from Ridley Scott. I really want to watch that as well. Obviously, those last two were not summer movies, but outside of the realm of horror, those are ones that I really want to watch, that I'm excited for. I'm trying to think what else I saw this year. Was John Wick 4 this year? Was that earlier this year? That was really good. I liked that. I don't controversial ending in my opinion. I don't know how I feel about the ending, but I still really enjoyed it. Fantastic film overall. And John Wick 5's happening, dude. They're making 5 now. So I had a feeling they were gonna retcon something that happens, and I'm excited to see it. If you haven't seen the John Wick movies, they're some of my favorite action films. Check them out. So good. Garrett Peck is saying, I'm almost had the chance. I worked on a movie called Vampire Wars as an extra and got to hang out with Robert Englund for half the day. Nice. Alas, post-production was never done and it never came out. Damn. You got to hang out with Robert Englund for half a day, though. I mean, to me, that experience is worth it. Holy shit. That's fucking sweet, Garrett. Damn. I wish I could have that experience. That's fucking fantastic. Nice. Very nice, Garrett. Good stuff. What a great memory that's got to be. Gangster Bro, thanks for your support as always, my friend. Saying Asylum Studios is making a movie called Barbenheimer. I heard about this. I really should have made a video about this at some point. This is so ridiculous. They're actually making a movie about a doll that builds like a nuclear bomb or whatever. It's insane. It's ridiculous. I'm kind of excited for it. Like it's gonna be trash, but maybe good trash. The kind of trash that a raccoon would actually consider picking through. You know? That's how I feel about this movie. It's like, maybe. You know, if I was a raccoon looking for something to eat, I'd be like, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Sarah Campbell is asking about the Silent Night trailer. I have seen that. It looks good. I'm actually, there's some action movies coming out that I'm very excited for. That being one of them, and The Beekeeper with Jason Statham. Listen, hear me out on this. Jason Statham action movies are run of the mill, but sometimes you just want to see Jason Statham kick the shit out of everybody. Sometimes you want that. You know, sometimes I just want a simple dumb movie about Jason Statham being a fucking beekeeper, getting revenge on people. It is simple, it's dumb, and it's fun. I'm kind of excited for it. It looks honestly, it looks kind of bad, but that Nine Inch Nails song, Jason Statham punching people in the face, I'm into it. Fuck it. But Silent Night actually looks like a solid action film. I'm really hyped for that one. I just saw the trailer too before Thanksgiving. It looks fun. Looks really fun. I believe the director has done some other big action films too. I can't remember who his name is off the top of my head. But this leads to a bigger conversation anyways, which I want to ask you about. You, Sarah, and everybody else, I want answers to this. I want to start talking action movies on this page, specifically like the John Wick films, and honestly, maybe this Beekeeper and Silent Night movie. I don't know. I want to start branching out, doing a little more than just horror, and I feel like doing things that are action oriented and gory and violent, whatever, wouldn't be too far out of the realm of a possibility for this page. I'm curious what everyone thinks about that. Would that be too weird? Or no? Like, how do you guys feel about that? Because I want to start watching some more action movies, like becoming more like I can talk about those a little more too on top of horror. It's not that I'm bored with horror or anything. I want to start expanding out beyond just what I already talk about. And I feel like action would be a good place to start. So I'm curious what you guys think. And Mission Impossible, I didn't get to see this, Chris. Mission Impossible, the best movie of the summer. I never saw it. I'm so mad at myself for not seeing it too. I heard it was really good. Jason Statham, run of the mill. How very dare you? Listen, the Meg is the Meg or the Meg 2. Like, are those quality films? Is that Martin Scorsese cinema? Look, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say. Look, I'm not gonna say any more than that. I respect it, Sarah. I respect it, but Jason Statham, it's in his contract that he can't even get punched in the face or lose a fight or whatever. It's like, man, come on, man. You know what you're gonna get every time. You know what I mean? You know what you're gonna get with Jason Statham. I still love him though. I still love his ridiculous movies, but they're ridiculous. Please do that, is what Sarah's saying about action. I'd be down with action, of course. Okay. I say go for it. Would fit well in this channel. I think so. I really think so. I really think that it wouldn't be too weird of a thing. Garrett is a new subscriber too. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I think covering action films is fine. Hell yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you, Garrett. Okay. Well, fuck it. I'm going to run it. Sam Sand is saying I'm horror first and action second. Hell, honestly, me too. Like 100. I couldn't agree more with this, Sam. That's how I feel. I love horror movies. Action is a close second. Animation is in there too. I love animated movies. Okay, Sam. I feel it. I really do appreciate your guys' opinion, so thank you. so thank you guys. That really does mean a lot. I want to, like I said, I want to start venturing more into other things. I want to talk about John Wick 5, especially. There is so much to talk about with John Wick 5. With how John Wick 4 ended, I won't say any more than that if you haven't seen it. But I feel like there's there's so much mystery and weird things to talk about with the Terrifier franchise that I'm just kind of now getting into. I've talked Scream to death at this point. Trust me, there'll be more Scream films. I got one coming this week. I got a Scream theory coming this week. Don't worry. I'm doing a Terrifier 3 and a Scream 7 video. But I do feel like I'm just talking about like two franchises, you know? So I'm like, I kind of want to start venturing into more stuff. You got to evolve as a content creator. You can't stagnate. That's when you start to go downhill. So that's what I'm thinking. Okay, let's expand a little bit. Let's go into action films and see what happens. So I really do appreciate your guys' opinion though on that. Thank you. Thanks for the tidbits. Victor Crowley Customs is saying, do you think Art the Clown is going to wear the Santa face necklace in Terrifier 3 or just for the artwork? I fucking hope he does, Victor Crowley. Oh my God, that would be great. that would be so great if he wears Santa's face at some point. I would lose my mind. I would go fucking crazy for that. Damien Leone, he knows what he's doing, okay? The man knows what he's doing. We love talking Jurassic Park, The Terminator, Predator all day. Oh, see, there you go. Some sci-fi shit too. I would so be into that. Not enough sci-fi movies get put out anymore. What's up with that, man? What is that? Corey Burrier is saying, sending good vibes from Winnipeg. I appreciate you, my friend. We always need those good vibes from Winnipeg. Hope you're having an awesome and kick-ass day, buddy. Thank you so much, Corey. I am. I hope you are too. BCC YTPS is saying, what's your opinion on the Boogeyman? Me personally, I think it's underrated and actually really good. I don't know. I kind of wasn't crazy about it. I only say that though because like I have seen many jump scare related Boogeyman movies before. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's got some well executed jump scares. I actually love the lead. Is it Sophie Thatcher, right? Who's the lead of that one? I really liked. She was really good. David Dastmalchian is a super underrated actor too. It's got a great cast, and it's based off of a very underrated Stephen King story. I don't know if it was my favorite movie of the year though, personally, but it was fun for what it was. It was a fun like one-time watch in the theater. But I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you thought it was very fun. I'm glad you dug it. My YouTube is saying you've been live for 6 hours. Is that true? No. If I was live for 6 hours, I'd be talking like this. I'd be like, Corey, I'm so sorry. I need those good vibes from Winnipeg so bad right now, Corey. I have this like spray for my throat that's I sometimes need for live streams, but oh my God. Dude, I would be dead. I would be so dead if I streamed for 6 hours. I'm trying to do 2.5 nowadays. I'm trying to go for 2.5 opposed to the 90 that I used to do, but holy shit, I'd be dead. El Dante, what's up, dog? How you doing? First time on here. Well, welcome. Was watching your Thanksgiving review and I got the live notification. Talking of which great was, what are you talking about? Which great wasn't it? Loved the fun and gory style and a proper Thanksgiving movie. So you liked it, is what you're saying. I'm glad you liked it, my friend. Very good stuff. I loved it too, man. I had a blast with it. I don't know, like for me, I love Eli Roth movies. I love his dark sense of humor, and that was very much so present in this. It was refreshing. You know, we do get a lot of movies that feel cookie cutter. They feel like they're all trying to go for like that one, like everybody, you know, they're trying to make everybody happy, so they don't have a lot of personality to them. Thanksgiving very much so is not for everybody, but that's what I love about it. It's like this may just be for a specific group of people, but it's done so well for that reason. It has personality. It's not something that's just trying to cater to everyone, you know? You can't make movies like that. It's just not what a movie should be. You should just put your own personality into it. Some people are going to like it, some people are not going to like it, and that's okay. When you make a movie with no personality, in my opinion, I think that's just, it's a one-time watch. You know, movies without personality are just like, okay, like cool, that was fun, that was a movie. But it didn't do anything special. Thanksgiving stands out amongst all the other movies that came out this year, love it or hate it. You might hate it for the reasons that it stands out. You know what? I have a movie like that from this year, The Outwaters. I personally was not crazy about it. I did not enjoy the film, but what I will say is that it has some fucking balls to do what it did, and I respect the hell out of it. It might not have been for me, but I would recommend that movie because I swear to God, it does something that no other movie this year did. And I respect it for that. I really do. I'm going to hit this real quick. This is just a throat spray for sore throat. That's all it is. I swear it's not drugs. YouTube, please don't demonetize me. I've been talking for 2 hours. I need it. But yes, no, without a doubt. Loved it. I'm so glad that we actually do have a proper Thanksgiving movie, like what you're talking about, dude. Couldn't agree more. Corey's saying, hey, anytime you need the good vibes, you know who to reach out to. Yes, I do, Corey. Without a doubt. You bring them every single time, dog, and I appreciate you. So thank you. JJ is saying, beyond Scream 7, do we need Sydney? It's a great question. I mean, I think it depends on what Scream 7 ends up doing with her or not. You know, like here's what I'll say. If Scream 7 is a movie where Sydney is once again pushed to the side and third act backup, she just comes in to beat the shit out of Ghostface and leave, I say we're done with Sydney. But if not, and they give us a reason to focus on Sydney again, okay. If you want to make that happen, make it happen. But as of right now, I feel like they haven't given me a reason to want Sydney as the lead. Like, Sydney has been pushed aside. Some people really don't like that about the new Scream films. And I respect it for people who want Sydney to be the focus again, but I am interested in Sam Carpenter as a character. I'm really interested in this story that they're telling. If they're able to do more with Sam, I'm down for it. But if they want to make Sydney the focus again, they can do that right now too. And I think that's what's so great about the Scream franchise in the position it is in. There's a lot of negatives that I'm worried about moving into Scream 7, some things that I don't know if it's going to be good or not. But I am excited for the fact that they have a blank canvas to kind of do whatever they want with 7. They don't have to bring all the survivors back. They don't have to focus on Sam. They don't have to focus on Sydney. That makes me happy. That means we can get something that I can't possibly predict what it's going to be until we get some announcements for who's going to be starring in it, who's going to be the focus of it. And that's what I'm down for. I'm excited for something that I can't predict. And that's the biggest thing that I'm hoping for from Scream 7. Please don't give us something that's cookie cutter. Please don't give us something that's relying on something from the past to be good. That's the biggest thing. So is Scream 7 needed? Is Sydney needed past the events of Scream 7? It all depends on what Scream 7 ends up being. What if Scream 7 sets up something badass, a whole new arc for Sydney? Something in the same vein as like Halloween 2018 with Laurie Strode, where, you know, now Michael Myers is coming after her again after he escapes the flames of the broken down house. That gives Laurie Strode a whole new purpose. We could have done Halloween 2018 with brand new characters, but we didn't. We decided to focus on Laurie Strode, and it's a good story for the first 2 movies. So I think if they want to focus on Sydney, they got to give me a reason for Ghostface to be going after her again, which means we can't do something from the past. We can't just have the Ghostface killer going after Sydney because they're a relative, a brother, an angry mother. Can't do that shit. Sorry. Need a new reason. Otherwise, why are we making a new movie? If you're going to make another movie where it's a secret relative coming after Sydney, well, we already got one of those. It's like buying milk twice. You don't need 2 gallons of milk at the house. You don't. If you're going to have cereal every morning, you only need 1 gallon. If you have 2, the other one's going to spoil. So don't make the same thing twice. Give me a good movie. Give me something good. Ooh, El Dante's talking about Saltburn. I haven't seen this yet. I've kind of heard this from it. I've heard this review before. Thought it was overly pretentious and pacing was off. Watched both Thanksgiving and Saltburn over the weekend, and Thanksgiving was the clear winner. So you wouldn't recommend it, El Dante? Because I've heard some pretty bad things about it. I'm not gonna lie. I've heard mostly negative reviews. I wasn't gonna watch it though. I heard some interesting things about it, but interesting, El Dante. There's a part of me that still wants to watch it though. Because I like watching I kind of like watching bad movies. I'm not going to lie. I get a kick out of it. Jet9 Lives is saying, I went into Thanksgiving not expecting much. I think it was going to be meh. I ended up walking out of the movie blown away. Very well done. I'm glad you liked it, Jet9 Lives. Hell yeah. I was really, I'm not going to lie. I went into it with some high expectations too. I think the biggest thing for me was, this is Eli Roth's return to horror. He technically hasn't creatively done something in the realm of horror since like the Cabin Fever remake, which that's a rough one to get through. He wrote that film because I believe it's the same script as the original, if I'm remembering correctly. So technically that doesn't even count. So he makes Knock Knock in like 2015, and like don't tell Eli Roth I said this, but oh my God, I can't stand that movie. I think it's so bad. And I love Keanu Reeves too, but oh my God, I just, it's not for me. Like, just not a movie for me. Was not into it. But man, like Thanksgiving, it's his comeback movie, in my opinion. Like I loved it. I want more from him. Since we're going through this slasher resurgence anyways, have him make another one. Have him make Thanksgiving 2. Have him make something else that's in that same vein. And like, I'm excited for the Borderlands movie, but I want him to be doing stuff out of his wheelhouse. Grindhouse horror. With that Thousands vibe to it. I think that's what he does best. I really think that's what he does best, and I would love to see more movies like that. Even if it's not Thanksgiving 2, just another Eli Roth horror movie, I'm fucking down. Make it happen. But of course, I hope Mr. Roth does what he wants to do, tells the stories he wants to tell, because that's always going to be the best product. If you try to force something, yeah, it's just not going to come out right. I think that's a Green Day lyric, so it's got to be true. If Green Day said it, it's got to be true. But I am with Corey here. I think Thanksgiving could become a franchise with a new installment each year. I mean, fuck, they could make another one for next year. Like if they started now, they could. If they did the pre-production through December, yeah, they could absolutely have another one come out next year. And Eli Roth could have 2 films come out in 2024. That would be fucking nuts. I don't know if the dude needs money or not, but shit, there you go. Garrett is saying you have to watch some bad movies. How else will you recognize the great ones when you see them? It's a great point. Sometimes when I just watch good movies over and over and over again, they start to lose their luster. But man, I throughout October, I watched some bad movies, man. Like I watched some movies that I just personally did not care for. Honestly, the majority of the movies I watched, the new movies I watched in October, I just was not crazy about, man. So after that, I was like, I need something good. I want to watch something that like I personally love, and Whiplash is one of those movies for me. I love every minute of Whiplash. That is a perfect film, and it is so misleading. Oh God, it's so good. I watched that, and I don't know, man. Like I just had a blast with it. It is such an interesting and upsetting movie. I just love it. It's so good. And after watching so many bad movies in October, I watched that, and it's like, this is so masterful. Like, why can't more movies do this crazy shit? It makes me sad. I love that movie so much, though. I think it's so interesting. It's just so sad. Like, it's really just a sad movie about downfall and obsession, and how obsession can not only be toxic, but can also like toxic upon other people, but also can ruin yourself from it too. It's such an interesting movie. Goddamn, I could watch it a million times and still not be bored with it. Is Thanksgiving on any streaming services? No, it is not yet. It is in theaters though, so you can go check it out there. Also, if a new Friday the 13th movie comes out, I think Damien Leone would actually be a great director for it. So this is something that's in the talks right now. Damien has put his hand, he's thrown himself out there saying, hey, I'll do Friday the 13th. Fuck, that could be a lot of fun. I'd love to see Damien Leone work in the realms of another franchise, because in a lot of ways, the Terrifier movies are just like really good Nightmare on Elm Street films without as much of the supernatural as we've gotten in those movies. So like to see him play in the realm of Friday the 13th, what would he do with Jason? Like, how would he direct a Jason actor? I'm so interested to know what he would do in that realm. So Yeah, no, I think he would be a great director. My buddies over at Womp Stomp Films, though, I think should be the first choice for a Friday the 13th movie, personally. I feel like they earned that through the Never Hike Alone films, which, my God, if you haven't seen Never Hike Alone 2 yet, you're missing out. It's one of the best fan films ever made, in my opinion. Holy fuck. I like the first one, and I like Never Hike Alone, or Never Hike in the Snow. Those are really good fan films, but Never Hike Alone 2 is like fucking fantastic. I consider it one of the Friday the 13th movies. It is so fucking good. And I don't know, I don't mean to shit on, what Womp Stomp did before. I'm really not. But Never Hike Alone 2 is such a step up. Like, it's so good. The story is fantastic. The kills are fantastic. Oh, loved it. I'm so happy that I supported that movie because, damn, it was worth it. But yes, I also wouldn't be against Damien Leone doing Friday the 13th, man. It would be good. He would do a good stuff with it. I want a Damien Leone Evil Dead movie. Shit. Ty Lee, I'm going to be honest with you. I got some theories about Terrifier 3. Now that there's less people here too, I think I'll spill the beans on some of the things I'm doing with my theory video coming out either Tuesday or Wednesday. I genuinely believe Terrifier 3 is going to have some Evil Dead influences. And I have proof. I have things to prove it too. I think there's some crazy shit happening in Terrifier 2 that a lot of us missed. And it's all in the background. And it's all very in the small, minute details that we're all missing. And I'm so excited to talk about it because I feel like it's kind of like a bombshell. I feel like it's kind of like, oh, no way, whoa. I'm so excited. I might be wrong. It's just a theory. But I have a feeling there's an Evil Dead aspect to the Terrifier franchise that people are missing. And I'm excited to talk about it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Anyways, Victor Crowley is saying, I want to see art on Santa's sled delivering presents to all the children of the world. Presents in the form of body parts, of course. Come on, Victor Crowley Customs. It's got to be something like that. That would be really funny, though. Oh, my God. I hope he kills, like, a mall Santa or something. That would be so fucking funny. You want Damien Leone movies just in general? I'm with you, dude. More Damien Leone films from here on out. I'm so excited. Like, Terrifier is the beginning of his career because let's be honest, there's going to be a lot more movies from the guy after this. He's breaking some ground in horror right now, and it's a really big deal. I'm just excited to see what he does next. I've heard that he's in talks to make a movie with Ghost House Pictures. I can't say any more than that, but he's got some other things in the works for sure. That's all I'm going to say. I'm excited. I'm so excited for whatever he does next. I can't wait. I want to see art. Well, I want to see what those presents would be. That's funny. Do you think Bigfoot horror movies are scary or not? I haven't seen a really good one yet. I'm going to be honest. Maybe that's a hot take. I haven't seen a really good Bigfoot horror movie yet. I haven't seen a very good Wendigo horror movie yet either. I think both of these are scary concepts that I just don't feel have been ever executed to the best of their ability. But both great concepts. The Wendigo is so scary. Like, that's one of my favorite. What is that? Like American mythology, technically? I don't know. Would it fall under that? That's tough to say. But native, yeah, indigenous people mythology, I should say. I really, really think that could be done well, but I just don't think it has yet. Emmanuel is saying you should check out Vengeance 2 Bloodlines. It's a good recent Friday fan film. Ooh, okay. Vengeance 2 Bloodlines. Is there a Vengeance 1? I'm curious. Like, do I have to watch the first one first? Because I will. I'll watch both of them. It's a good Friday fan film, though. Badass, Emmanuel. I'll check it out. I'll check that one out. I love a good fan. Like, honestly, good fan films are really fun to watch because sometimes you see shit that you would never see in a big movie, like Never Hike Alone 2. I don't think that storyline would be. I don't think they would want to tell that story in a big Hollywood movie, unfortunately. But it's really good, and I really enjoyed it. It's the legacy sequel to Part 6 that I've always wanted, and I love it for what it is. Alex 19881 is throwing $2 out there. Alex, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for the $2. Thank you, dog. This is interesting. Sharks are a terrifying concept, yet how many shark movies actually scare? It's a good point. I don't think too many movies past Jaws really understood what was so scary about that movie. Like, so many shark films after that try to like up the ante with some kind of like crazy supernatural science shit or whatever. And I think that's the problem. Like, Jaws is so good because you can mistake that movie for just a real shark attack. But, you know, now a lot of people are a lot more familiar about how sharks operate and stuff and how they're not actually that gigantic. So Jaws, I still think is terrifying, but a lot of the movies past it tried to, like, you know, once again, up the ante. It's always like a bigger shark or multiple sharks or this or that, whatever. Jaws is scary because not only is it written so fucking well, but it's just it's simple. It's a simple concept done to the best of its ability. I think so many people get caught up in gimmicks, or they feel the need that their concept needs to be bigger or whatever, that they lose something in that. The simplest concepts are the best, in my opinion. When your concept is simple and everything else is just executed really fucking well, those are some of the best movies ever made. Like, I'm just going to be real. Where a lot of people go wrong writing scripts is they feel that their idea isn't good enough and they got to do more. But Sarah is right, though, too. There are some shark movies out there that stand the test of time and are very good. Deep Blue Sea is absolutely one of them. I love that movie. I'm trying to think what other shark movies I really like. I like Shark Night 3D because it's not a good movie and because the concept is complicated, which completely goes against what I'm saying right now, but it's a fun, dumb movie. And I like it for being a fun, dumb movie. But in terms of shark movies that are scary, Deep Blue Sea, Jesus Christ, has like one or two scenes that was like, whoa, goddamn, holy shit. No, Deep Blue Sea is a lot of fun. Fuck, what else? Jaws 2 isn't bad. Jaws 2 is not bad. I don't know. Some people shit on that one, but I like it. I think Jaws 2 is fun. It's a worthy sequel. I can't say that about the other Jaws movies, but damn. What's another good shark movie? Man, I really can't think of one off the top of my head. Oh, yeah, okay, Sam makes a good... Yeah, The Shallows. Okay, The Shallows is fun. I agree. Oh, what's the... Not Open Water. Open Water's the one that was made with a really low budget, which low budget's not bad. But there's another one very similar to Open Waters that I think is really fucking scary, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Damn, you know what? I'll get back to you on that one. The Shallows is good, though, too. Okay. I vibe with you there. That sounded scary as saying Sharknado. Sharknado is just a blast, dude. It is just a silly movie. That first one is so funny to me. Like, I think it's great. The guy with the fucking stools, like, just beating the shit out of the sharks. That's so funny. I love that. I feel you there, man. I feel you there. Victor Crowley is saying the original Evil Dead is underrated and better than Evil Dead 2. I wholeheartedly agree. I'm going to be honest. I really like Evil Dead 2, but the original is way better, man. I don't know. Maybe that's a hot take. That's a really hot take. Some people like will die by Evil Dead 2. They're like, it's the best movie in the franchise. I really like it. It is a really good movie. Bruce Campbell's best performance in a movie without a doubt. But dude, I don't know. The first one, it's a masterpiece. I love it. Most people I've met love Evil Dead 2, but never seen the original. That's a shame because the first Evil Dead, I think, is one of the best. Ugh. Such a good movie. It's so scary and you still get that physicality from Bruce Campbell. Like, I don't know. It has everything that Evil Dead 2 has, but maybe even more. I don't know. Just my opinion. Ocean movies can be so good. I just feel a lot of them just don't hit the spot. An example being Underwater from 2020. The entire movie is a confusing cluster of a movie. Underwater is great up until TJ Miller dies, in my opinion. Like, the moment TJ Miller is gone, listen, is that a spoiler? Yes, but it's a movie from 3 years ago. And also it's not that big of a spoiler. You can kind of see it coming. But I think that movie is pretty good. It's a solid start to a movie, but there's a point where it goes downhill. Oh, and hey, we're talking about Underwater. I think it's underrated, though. I'm with Sarah here. I believe it's an underrated film, but I do feel like there's some missteps in the back half of it. But the front half, oh my God, the first like 30 to 45 minutes is like not bad. Like I really was into the first half of it. But yeah, the back half of it's got some problems. But I don't know, man. It's a fun movie. It's fun for what it is. I never watched it again, but I do remember it. Like I watched it in 2020. It was interesting. I had a good time with it. But yeah, back half of it needed some work. Garrett is saying The Reef was pretty good. I remember The Reef. Okay. That was fun. That had some good moments. What's the one, there's this movie called Bait where they're trapped in a Australian like shopping grocery store or whatever. That's interesting. It's an interesting concept. I don't know if the whole movie works for me. There's some character stuff going on in that I just don't think is great. But it's an interesting movie. Bait is one to watch too. I forgot about that. 47 Meters Down. I'm on the fence about how I like 47 Meters Down is kind of ruined by its twist, in my opinion. But I think the whole movie is fantastic besides that. But that's a movie where I don't know if I like the twist or not. It's a really good movie though. Like it's really well executed. It's really well shot. It's a great concept for a shark movie too. I don't know. But I respect it. 47 Meters Down. It's absolutely a contender on that list, on that argument, without a doubt. Oh, Chris, you like the original and Army of Darkness? Cool. Okay, I am in the boat that Army of Darkness is fantastic. Like I am absolutely on that train, but for a totally different reason. I like Army of Darkness as the horror comedy that it is, strongly in the comedy realm there. I think that it is a very goofy and silly movie, and that's why I fucking love it. Well, with a dark edge too. But the original Evil Dead, I think, is fucking terrifying. Like that is a scary fucking movie through and through. It's like it captures that same energy as like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where I feel like I shouldn't be watching this. That's a great double feature, by the way. The original Texas Chainsaw and Evil Dead. Watch that back to back. Ooh. Scary shit. Garrett, I'm with you, man. It's fun, not great, but fun. Concept is good though. I really like the concept. I was like, I sticked through the whole movie because I liked the concept. But I agree, execution not quite there with Bait. I do agree with you there. I really love that concept though. They're trapped in like a shopping mart or whatever. I'm like, that's cool, man. That's really a fucking interesting setting for a shark movie. I can't name another one that does that too. That's fascinating. Joey Green is saying, I thought it was a pretty decent movie. I liked 47 Meters Down. Genuinely a solid movie. I'm not crazy about the twist. Like it's a really well executed thriller more than anything, I think. An underwater thriller. That twist kind of was like, I don't know if that was necessary, but it was fun. It was fun nonetheless. El Dante, thank you so much for subscribing, man. It really does mean a lot. Thank you for streaming. Thank you for being here, dude. Thanks for just hanging out with me and talking horror. It really does mean a lot. Just you hanging out, just subscribing, your support means a lot to me. So thank you. Thanks for hanging out, dude. I'm gonna get moving here soon. I'm probably gonna wrap up the stream, but holy shit, it has been a blast talking with all of you guys. Thank you so much. For everyone who super chatted too, you guys will all be making the video on Wednesday. Very excited for that. And I will be live again on Friday, I believe. I'll have some new videos coming out either tomorrow or Wednesday. Well, we should have the back half of the week. We should have some fun videos, some fun little, theory videos I got coming. I got a huge Terrifier video coming. And then Lisa Bluebaugh, one of my supporters on Patreon, pitched an idea for a really good Scream theory that I've been working on all week too. So I'm very excited to talk about that, probably on Friday. Most likely Friday I'll be talking about that. I got a really good Scream theory from Lisa, and I'm very excited to talk about it. So thank you guys again so much for hanging out with me tonight. It means a lot. And like I said, we'll be live again on Friday. So thank you so much, everybody. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Peace out.